right, keep the applause going. We are back.
Alexander Legrand.
Alright, we are back. Alright. Do need to figure out how to get the soundboard a little bit lower, but we'll figure that out when we need to. You know what I'm saying? I do think I could do it this way. I do believe I just fixed that issue right there. But this is episode number 3 of the Forbidden Door podcast. I am Alexander Legrand. Want to welcome you here to the channel. I was trying my hardest, chat. I was trying my hardest. I wanted to shoot this live right after the pay-per-view. I wanted the emotions, the feelings, my memory, everything to be super raw and without me rewatching anything. Unfortunately, we had like an audio issue, man. I think I figured it out. If you're watching the video and you hear a little issue with the audio, let me know. I do think I fixed it. As you can see as the thumbnail, I'm just going to get right into it. Usually on the reviews, I start from the beginning, go all the way down. But I wanted to do the show, like I said, right off of coming off the pay-per-view. Initially, this video was going to be Mercedes Moné. I want to show you the picture I made. This was our cover for episode number 3. This is what we was going to go with. Mercedes Moné getting her 11th belt. Ultimo Moné. There you go. Finally. Beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. That was going to be our thumbnail for today's episode. And then we got to the main event. And Sting came out. And we made an executive decision for the money. No pun intended, for the Monet. And we made a change, and we had to put Sting as the thumbnail. Just to give you a little backstory on me, I just recently bought my tickets for Japan. Me and my girlfriend just bought the hotel, paid for the hotels in Japan, literally yesterday, like before watching the pay-per-view during the morning or in the morning, and it was expensive. So Sting is coming to Comic-Con in Rhode Island. You know I live in New England. And I'm a type of person that believe in signs. So yeah, I had the money to go see Sting and go to Japan, do all this stuff. But I'm just really in my saving bag right now, in my future, looking for my own future and things I want to invest in. So I've been on the fence on buying Comic-Con tickets that are over $100 for me and my girlfriend. Over $100 each. I have to pay for me and my girlfriend, and then another $100 and some change to get Sting's autograph, and then I got to go back to the mall and buy the AEW Supreme Sting figure that I seen. And it's so funny because while I was in the Toy Vault store last week, this is how you know I wasn't lying. I've been debating on going to see Sting at Comic-Con since last week, since my girlfriend actually told me he was going to be there. And she had no idea who Sting is to me, and what he represents to me on my fandom of wrestling. And I'm going to let y'all know. But before that, so I'm in the Toy Vault store, and we're looking through the AEW figures. They had a Bryan Danielson that I really wanted. They had a Hangman that I thought was wicked cool. But then we're we're moving figures around, and they have this Supreme Sting, and it's one of the best looking figures I ever seen, and it's Sting. So I pick it up, and I'm like, is this the sign to go ahead and purchase this figure? Um, as you know, I do have a Konosuke Takeshita back there, one of the best figures I ever seen in my life, and I also have a Scorpion Sky signed by Scorpion Sky, and I will get that Takeshita sign. Um, and I'm going to get into Konosuke Takeshita and my favorite rivalry of AEW, which is Konosuke and Kazuchika Okada. I'll get to that a little later, but so I'm in the toy store. I'm holding the toy, and it's $50 for the figure. Not a bad price. I Google, eBay, I look up everywhere online. The Supreme Sting figure, the lowest I found it, I think it was $45, so $40 or something like that. So I'm at the Toy Vault store. It's $50 plus tax, so only $10 more expensive than the cheapest way to buy it. I think it was eBay. Someone was selling it. Again, I'm not big on eBay. I don't do a lot of shopping on eBay. Excuse me. Um, so I'm in the store and I'm like, it's only $10. Like, you know what I mean? I should, but I wanted to be disciplined because I'm going to do so much shopping in Japan. So I ended up not buying the figure. Right, that was last weekend, last Saturday, I believe. Um, I decided I'm not gonna buy the figure. I'm gonna go to work for the whole week, and I'm gonna think on it. And yesterday was Saturday, so I knew I was gonna pay for the hotels in Japan. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna see how much money I have left over in my check-ins, and then we'll go from there. If we're gonna, buy these tickets for Comic Con and do all this stuff, because it's not like I'm gonna buy the tickets for Comic Con and then go to Comic Con and only get Stink's autograph and leave. You know, me and my girlfriend are gonna walk around. I'm gonna see other figure shops. I'm gonna see uh, costume shops, and me and Kiara want Naruto costumes. We're gonna see so much stuff, and we're gonna want to spend money there too. So it's more of a all right. Just getting there alone is I'm gonna be dipping into 300 plus, and then when I get there, I'm gonna be spending. So, like I said, I believe in signs. So that's already sign one to do it though. Just me going to the store and the Supreme toy being Sting. That was sign number one. But I was like, you know what? Let me be disciplined. Let me be smart. Go to work. AEW Wednesday was amazing leading up to this pay per view. We had that segment with Darby Allen and Moxley at the jail, Pac, whatever you call them, attacks Darby, and they're beating the hell out of him. They did the face to face through the glass. It was just amazing, amazing. I never seen a face to face off like that. That was cool as shit. Then we get to this pay per view, right? The I Quit match. Darby Allen is getting killed. Darby Allen is getting killed the whole match. Um, Commentators are coming out spitting out facts. Darby Allen never beat Moxley his whole time being in AEW. We got fuck him up, Darby, fuck him up, chance. um, so the match is going crazy, right? Match is insane. I knew this match had potential to be match of the night and steal the show. I did not think it was going to be this cinematic. This match was so cinematic, and
Alexander Legram.
my bad, I got a little sidetracked. Let me finish the sting. So I ended up not getting the tickets. We buy the hotel prices. We pay for the hotel, and we end up getting the flight there. And I did amazing in budgeting, and I have been doing amazing in budgeting. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my girl, and I think I want to go to Comic Con. I still didn't purchase the ticket yet. Still have not purchased it at this moment in time. Right? We just finished buying our the plane ticket, the hotel, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna buy the Comic Con tickets, but let me watch AEW first. And tomorrow, while I'm watching football, um, I'll buy the tickets. Well, before football starts tomorrow, I'll go back to the mall. If they have the figure there, then I'll buy the tickets. Man, that pay per view, start to finish, was amazing. But the moment Moxley is literally trying to drown Darby Allin in the ring, and the lights cut out, I had goosebumps the entire time. And I knew Sting was coming out. Once the lights cut out, I knew it was Sting. And that was the moment that I was like, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm buying that motherfucking figure, and I'm buying the Comic Con tickets. The reason why, not just because, oh, he showed up and then now I want to go meet a legend. Not just because he's a legend. A little backstory on me. I wasn't allowed to watch WWF as a kid. Um, it took, I think, almost a year of being a wrestling fan. I would say at least almost a year of being an actual wrestling fan, like actually watching wrestling. My mom knowing that we're watching wrestling, me and James, my older brother, and then my uncle Angelo, at the time, my godfather also, um, at the time was a huge wrestling fan, and he still loves wrestling, but he's not so tapped into like what's current happening. Um, but huge wrestling fan, and you got to think I'm a baby. Like I was probably like 5, 6. So my uncle at the time is super young. He's a huge rock fan, huge rock fan. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and he convinces my mom, his sister, to let me and my older brother watch WWF. So for a whole year of watching wrestling, I only could watch WCW. Um, I'm trying to think. I can't. There's pictures on the wall over here of me. I had a bowl cut, like Bruce Lee. I was a huge Bruce Lee fan growing up. I'm still a big Bruce Lee fan. When I go to Japan, Bruce Lee is going to be one of the first figures I buy. Um, at I think it's Tamahashi Nation. Um, I can't wait. But for a whole year, I could only watch WCW. I'm telling you, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. Had the bowl cut, and if you know Bruce Lee, you know about his son Brandon Lee in the movie The Crow. Man, when I saw Sting, from the moment I saw Sting, because I never saw Surfer Sting, I saw just the black, white, just like The Crow, face paint. Pause. I fell in love. He was the first wrestler that started this whole fandom. Like, I wouldn't be here trying to do this podcast if it wasn't for Sting. I'm just being honest, and I'm not gassing it either. Sting is on my Mount Rushmore. I think Sting is, despite having a WWE run, like he actually went there, Sting never needed WWE. Never. And his aura is like top S class, like the highest class of professional wrestling. Sting is in that tier. the Ric Flairs, the John Cena's, the Hogans, the Rocks, the Stone Colds, the Undertakers. Sting is in that tier, and he did it without WWE because his WWE run was he was booked horrible. Um, and he came super, 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 super late. I would love to have a conversation with him and ask him if he intentionally wanted to become the icon without WWE and then just missed wrestling and came back. Um, but anyways, Sting is my first favorite wrestler, and that never changed. Like it's not like you have a first love pause and then you just forget about her just because you whatever get older and stuff like that. You always remember the first, right? But Sting wasn't just the first wrestler that sparked my interest. Through the whole Monday Night Wars, through everything, through ups and downs of WCW, Sting was, like I said, S tier. Just, bruh, just, I don't know, just like the top of the top for me. Promos where he didn't speak. When he went black and red Wolfpack, and then now he was speaking. Bro, just crazy. Um, in 1996, he did, I was born in 92. So in 1996, Sting did a documentary. Let's see if I can pull it up. Um, I just found it. This right here. This documentary, right? 1996, you guys. This VHS, right? 1996. I'm only 4 years old. I'm only 4 years old when this came out. I had, and I wish I could go to Florida. I know it's still in Florida. I wish I could have this in my house because I would have Sting sign this. You guys don't know how many times I watched this damn VHS. I watched this shit so religiously, so many times. Sting was the dopest character to me. To have these moments as a kid, I don't know, just like this necklace, right? Even this necklace. Can I find one with a closer of the necklace? Even just this necklace right here. This is just iconic to me. The swag of Sting. Um, I wonder what it is. If I wish I could look that up too. If that looks dope, I'll definitely cop something like that. Um, but yeah, man, just having the memory of those matches, those promos, him stalking in the rafters, him coming down. Um, Sting's aura to me has been the top for me. So when them lights cut out, full circle moment to bring it back. The lights cut out. I'm an active AEW fan, so I know the connection between Darby and Sting. And for Darby Allin to win an I Quit match for Moxley when he doesn't have no real, excuse me, sorry, he doesn't have any no like a faction or like real friend group. He's just like he's just a good guy. He's just a babyface trying to save AEW. And though it would have made sense if some other baby faces came out. Wouldn't say it wouldn't make sense. Um, but he doesn't have like super core like, oh, I'm tied to this person because of this. And the lights cut out. When the lights cut out, I instantly get goosebumps, man. And in my head, I said, when these lights cut back on and Sting's behind him, I know for sure that excuse me, that I gotta get the Comic Con tickets. The lights cut on. Sting's behind Mox. The crowd erupts. The crowd already, just like me, catches on early. The lights cut out. I don't know if a couple of them seen them. Some people are trying to put their lights on. But when the lights cut on, holy shit. Holy shit. Right? Moxley, and I want to say this about Sting. Obviously, I just said 1996 he did that documentary video. I was 4 years old. I'm 33 right now. So we don't have to age Sting. My legend lived a long life. And I'm glad to see him healthy and be able to still. He didn't have to take no bumps at the pay-per-view. But for him to still move, to swing the bat as good as he did, he hit Mox with the bat. He hit, I believe, Claudio with the bat. And I think Pac. I think he hit two of the Death Riders. Took two. I think it was Pac and Claudio. He took out with the black steel bat, the black baseball bat. And there's a moment where Moxley's in the corner on the turnbuckle. And Sting doesn't, after taking out the Death Riders, Sting doesn't attack Moxley any further while Moxley's staring at him. Instead, Sting looks at Darby and tosses him the baseball bat. Literally, physically, and for the story, tossing of the baton. The passing of the torch. We just watched the passing of the torch. Both of Darby Allin's mentors. Sting, the icon, physically passing him the torch. With our own eyes, passing him the torch. And in the ring, the story being told, Moxley is Darby Allin, only on the heel side. Everything Moxley stands for, that's what Darby stands for. They're doing everything they're doing for the same exact reason. The same reason. When I said in the last stream, I don't know if it was the one that got taken down, where Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada, the mentor and mentee story is so beautiful. This is literally just a white version. And I'm loving it. It's sick. And it's crazy how they're telling the Kazuchika Okada and Takeshita are telling the mentor and mentee story in their own way, in a crazy, crazy, beautiful way. My favorite rivalry. The second favorite rivalry is the Moxley and Darby Allin, and they're telling the mentee, passing the baton. We both will do anything for AEW story. They'll literally unalive somebody for wrestling. Moxley tried. And Darby did too. Darby set Moxley on fire last pay-per-view after the casket match. So we're seeing the passing of baton of Moxley. Well, I wouldn't say the passing of baton just yet because I don't see Moxley retiring, but the anime moment of the acknowledgement in the fight, like the Naruto Sasuke, that Goku Vegeta, like I see you, like I'm acknowledging you as my rival, my biggest rival. So he passes the baton, right? But before that, I do want to say, so when Sting takes out the Death Riders, right before the face-off spot, I messed up. Sting breaks the fish tank, the mini shark tank they had in the ring that they was trying to drown Darby Allin with. The way Sting swung that bat and broke that fish tank in the ring after taking out Pac, I don't know how to say his name or how he wants it to be said. Sorry. Um, and Claudio, that shit looked like, yo, this dude is gonna knock Moxley the fuck out with his baseball bat. He breaks because the fish tank's just on the floor, so he swings it down, bow, bow, breaks it. It's real glass. The shit breaks and shit. You can hear it. And then when he does the passing of the baton and giving Darby the bat, he goes out the ring and he turns, looks, and when he looks back to the entrance where he has to walk to leave, Marina Shafir gets in his face, and Sting puts her over his shoulder, and he carries Marina Shafir all the way out. So he took out Claudio, Pac, and then made sure Marina Shafir was gone. You know, Marina Shafir will do anything for Moxley. If she was not taken out, Moxley would have won this match. Sting solo-handedly saved Darby. Sting took out the whole Death Riders, just like Sting took out the whole NWO. It's beautiful writing. In this moment, and he looks so fucking good. Can I find a picture of Sting last night? Let me find that picture I posted. This is the thumbnail. Man, he looked great. He looked great. He was moving great. So he leaves. He takes Marina Shafir the fuck out of there. Saves Darby. After saving Darby, there's a moment. And I don't want to keep looking and wasting time. Darby puts the bat to Moxley's neck. And that picture right there just embodied everything I was just talking about. The you're not going to quit and I'm not going to quit either. I know Mox said it the whole time before the Sting come out. Mox killing him. Mox is drowning him in the water. In the fish tank, he's drowning him like a movie. Putting his head in, holding him down, pulling him back out. Say I quit. Putting him back in. Hold him. Quit, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, literally peak television. Moxley is the biggest bad guy in all of wrestling ever. Ever. The Death Riders are the best heel faction ever. And I'm going to die on that hill. And I'm going to, honestly, in these conversations, when we talk about heel factions, the Death Riders are the biggest heel faction ever. To me. Just to me. My love for wrestling has, in the last 2 years, has went skyrocket because of AEW. And I'm telling you, I'm a person that believes in signs. I saw Sting. There could have been a million finishes to this match. And him coming out, it being promoted on the Comic-Con website. This is Sting's very last time coming to Rhode Island. Well, for Comic-Con, his last time coming here for Comic-Con. Who knows if he'll ever come to Rhode Island for like an AEW pay-per-view and do a guest appearance. But I'm definitely going at 9 o'clock when the mall opens today. I'll definitely be going to get that Sting figure. I will definitely be buying after I get the figure, though. I'm going to make sure I could get the figure. If the figure's gone, then I don't know what to do. But as long as I get that figure again, I'll go to the mall. It should be there. Get the figure, and I'm definitely buying the tickets. And that pay-per-view, that ending. Oh, yeah, just to finish. Not only does Sting break the glass, when he broke the fish tank, right? Some of the fish tank, like half of it. So if it's a box, right, and he broke it. Like, let's say it was like this, right? It was hanging off a little bit, like he chipped the glass. Now Darby has the bat. Darby does hit Moxley with the bat, with the steel bat. But not only does that, Darby um, does a Scorpion Death Drop, a big nod to Sting's finisher, and then in the middle of the ring, right on top of the AEW and the water. I thought it would have been cool if they would have kind of like, because there was a puddle in the ring. Um, I thought they could have played into it, but it doesn't matter. Um, Darby Allin does the Scorpion Death Drop, and he locks in um, Death Drop, and then he locks in the Scorpion Death Lock, and he makes Moxley say "I quit" with Sting's finisher. Um, we got "This Is Murder" chants. Uh, because I was so excited about telling that story about Sting. Um, I also have written down in my notes. I'm not just looking down, making up this. I take notes while I watch the pay per views. Um, throughout the whole match, I'm telling you, from like the beginning 10 minutes into the middle, I'll say 6 minute mark. So 10 minutes into 16 minutes. I'll say 16 minutes is like the middle. Um, Darby is taking all the bumps because you got to think Death Riders are still there. And from the beginning of the match, Moxley and Death Riders get it popping from the beginning. Like, he's getting fucked over from the beginning. He's taking all of the bumps. There's a spot where I think it's like skewers or something. Moxley, if you guys know AEW, you know what I'm talking about. Moxley put it inside his head one time. He's literally was trying to put it under Darby's nail to pull Darby's nail off. It was a match for the sickos. If that's not your type of match, if you're not here for the extreme stuff, then don't watch that main event. But if you're here for a legend to come out, if you're here for like the most brutal matches and you like extreme wrestling, this was chef's kiss, and this was definitely the money. So I did want to just knock out that pay-per-view, the main event for the pay-per-view, just because Sting is the thumbnail, and I am going to meet Sting in real life next month. Literally only like 2 weeks, actually. It's only 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks away, and I'm fucking excited, man. The person that made me fall in love with wrestling, I'm gonna get his autograph. It's gonna be my favorite toy in my new hobby. I found a new hobby, you guys. I do want to start collecting wrestling figures. I don't have the space to put them out because I do want to put a couch or a big chair for people that come into the game room or with streaming, or Kiara's in the corner with our dog reading. So I don't have the space here, but when we do move to our next place, I will obviously have more room, and I want to start a collection of not just anime figures and statues. Um, I do want to start my own wrestling figure collection, and Sting autographed will be a great centerpiece for that. All right, so um, let's go actually from the beginning of the pay per view. So the pay per view, WrestleDream, just starting from the beginning. I seen everything you guys said. I seen everything you guys said. I seen it all. You guys was talking so much shit. Y'all was talking so much shit. Y'all was saying WrestleDream's card is whack. Y'all was saying, man, let's look at this WrestleDream card. This is the card people was saying was bad. Let's see. Can I find it? Can I find it? All right. This was the card. I'll go to my Twitter. Let's see. I seen all that shit y'all was talking. Ooh, y'all was selling out bad. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Oh, they already. All right, we gotta delete a couple. I love that. I love that for AEW, man. Do it up, baby. Do it up. Do it up. Do it up. Do it up. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right, here we go. 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 So here was my tweet. I tweeted out live while watching. Y'all was hating on this pay-per-view, and this shit ended up being a top pay-per-view of 2025, and we still haven't even seen Moxley and Darby Allin kill each other. This was, I think I said this, if the time is correct, I think I said this during the Don Callis family versus Brodito. When I tell y'all, the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada versus Brodito, when I tell you this was, if Sting didn't come out, this was match of the night. Even with Sting coming out, it might be match of the night. I'm not fucking joking. If you told me Tekla versus Jamie Hayter was match of the night, I wouldn't even be mad. That match, boy, oh boy, man, let me just get into the pay-per-view. All right. So let's just do it justice. Before the pay-per-view started, Let me see. Before the pay-per-view started, baby. Come on. Before the pay-per-view started. Where was our tailgate? Here we go. This is the tweet I was looking for. Thank God I found it quick. Before the actual pay-per-view started, I do want to say this one thing for AEW. AEW, oh, whoa. I'm so sorry, you guys. I got to be better. I gotta be better. I gotta be better. I'm sorry. I know. Just give me a second. That's on me. I'm sorry about that, you guys. They're like, what are you even talking about? You're gonna see in a second. I'm not gonna bring attention to it, but if you guys noticed what I just did, write a comment on the bottom. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Forbidden Door Podcast. I appreciate you, whether it's 10 people, 30 people, whatever the fuck it is that's viewing this shit, man. I appreciate you guys. And the ones that already hit likes on the other videos, I appreciate you guys a lot. It means a lot to me. I'm starting this journey. I work 2 fucking full-time jobs, so it's hard to, like, get on this bitch and be consistent. And then even last night with the audio issue, it's just hard to believe in yourself when no one else does at the moment. As you can see, there's no one watching right now, and I'm just locked in, and you can see how I'm enjoying it. But like, there's moments, and I'm not even a person that's like low energy. I'm a high energy. I know I'm fly. I know I'm lit. Blah 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 blah. All that good shit. Self confidence is high. And even for myself, like last night, even before the audio issues started, I'm gonna be honest and vulnerable with y'all. There was like that voice in my head saying like, no one's gonna watch it. What are you doing it for? Like, you're gonna do a whole review of the pay-per-view and no one's gonna watch it, and the YouTube channel isn't gonna work, and telling myself just to go to bed. And I overcame it. I did, and I tried 2 or 3 times. There was just an audio issue, and I pray I did fix it. I'm not even checking right now, but I don't want to get discouraged and check, because if the audio little sound is happening every 10 seconds, I'm sorry. But if it's not, I figured it out, and I'm happy. But I don't want to check because I don't want to get discouraged, and I don't want to end stream. I want to get through this, and again, I just want to say I appreciate everyone who's here. If you could like, comment, subscribe on these on my page and on these videos, it would help me a lot. And I want to be my goal. I want to be the very first podcast. First of all, I want to be the very first black famous podcaster for wrestling. Two, I want to be the first podcast that is completely positive about AEW. Now, does that mean I'm only going to talk about good things? And no, but I'm only going to highlight the good things. If there's something I don't like, I don't always have to speak on it. I never owned a wrestling company. So for me to jump on YouTube and be like, Tony Khan should do this, and he's a fucking billionaire, and he's the one putting his money up and doing this, it sounds stupid to me. But also, some of my ideas are going to be good, so I will voice my opinion, but I'm going to try to remember to always do it in a respectful manner because I love wrestling, and if I say I love wrestling, then that means I have to love the cameraman and the audio guys and the wrestlers, more importantly, um, and respect them and respect everyone that I'm speaking on, and understand I have to keep it kayfabe. I do want to make this YouTube channel my business, so that means I do got to tell the truth on how I feel. But just like they're in character, I could turn into a character for this. You know what I mean? And I could criticize or critique somebody, and like I said, in a respectful manner. That's just what I want Forbidden Door podcast to be about. I want it to be about mostly AEW. I will talk WWE sometimes, but I want this to be a AEW centered podcast that's positive, that's speaking life into wrestling, that's speaking life into AEW, and that's just sharing moments and just the love for wrestling without the negativity and the fake bullshit that I see on most YouTube pages that are about AEW and wrestling just in general. The clickbait and all that shit. All right, so let's get back into Saturday night tailgate. We started the tailgate with the Death Riders versus the Conglomeration. Um, Again, the best heel faction, one of the biggest babyface factions, the Conglomeration, and they just got their own jumbotron and it looks like a sitcom. It looks like Friends or something like that. Like the entrance to Friends is so cool. But and I love Willow. Willow is my future AEW Women's Champion. And I hope in the near future. Even though I'm loving Chris Statlander. But all right, so back to the first 8-man tag. Great way to start the show. A couple things the IWC noticed. Pac, whatever you call him. He already switched back to his old trunks. Now, honestly, I am more of a fan of the trunks just because the singlet, I don't know. When he wore this new outfit, it just gives me like, I don't know, 60s wrestler vibes or something like that. Like, I don't know if I'm saying the 60s right, but you get what I mean, like old timer, like wrestlers. Also, Pat came back, first of all, excuse me. Pat came back in wicked shape, man. He always was great, in great shape. But Pat came back in great shape, and he ended the match with, like, he didn't end in a Busaiku knee, but he ended in, like, a running knee, running kick. And, again, I wanted to do this with my first thoughts. So my first thought was running knee, ? My initial watch, I was a little like, yo, he's so big, he should do. I know he's also a high flyer. If you want to do a top rope, cool. But he got so jacked, for him to do a running like hit. For me, it kind of was like, I'd much rather see him if he made a new finisher as a slam or some kind of like move that he's doing. Not to say you got to take the Death Riders or paradigm shift. Nothing like that. But a move like that. Some kind of slam, some kind of whatever. Just because he's so jacked, he looks like all of his moves that are like slams look like they are like vicious and done with ill intent. That was just my first thought. But then on the second watch, before jumping on live, I did brush up on anything that I had notes on. I made sure I went and rewatched the spot or surrounding like 10, 15 minutes around the spot. And that motherfucking running knee that he did, that motherfucker connected really, really good. And it did look vicious, and it did look like he took out his opponent. But again, and he pinned Ishii. That was another thing where I'm like, I love how AEW, and I love how Ishii must be so selfless, where he's Teflon Don. Like, he's Teflon. Like, he could get pinned and he's not losing no aura. So Pac's finisher, I don't know if that's gonna be his new finisher. I'm up in the air about it so far, right? I'll just say that. From there, we go to Eddie Kingston and Hook. They haven't gave us a faction name yet. I do love this faction. They was facing the Frat House. We know that they was gonna win. It was gonna be a nice, quick win just to get a good pop from the crowd. Like I said, this is the pre-show. Just get a nice pop of the crowd. People are filling in the seats, and let's get Hook and Eddie Kingston a tag team match. Again, you know how AEW works. You can't just come in here. It's AEW is like a sport. So even without the records being kept still, a record is very important. I mean, the records are being kept, but I mean the ranking system. The ranking system isn't available for us, but having matches under your belt is important here, and getting a win. So that's important everywhere. I mean, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Where having wins, they used to have a ranking system where you could go online and see, oh, this person's ranked number 1 and he's the number 1 contender. It's literally like a sport. So yeah, they was facing the Frat House. We knew they was gonna win once we saw the Frat House come out. I did like LFI keeping the rivalry with Eddie Kingston and Hook. And on my notes where I wrote down, I put Sami Zayn promo ? Now, when they added Sami Zayn to LFI, I was against it. I'm gonna be honest. I was against it.
Alexander Legrand.
Being respectful, I gotta remember what I just said. Sami Zayn is an AEW original. So I feel Tony Khan might be in a rock and a hard place. And again, I never owned a wrestling company, and it's probably difficult when you love these people and they're humans and you're human. And Tony Khan seems like one of them people. Everyone that talks about Tony Khan, he's a people person where it's he empathizes, sympathizes, and he's compassionate. You know what I mean? Where he wants the best for these people, and if you show loyalty to him, he shows loyalty to you, and that's something that makes me really get behind AEW. And Sammy Guevara is a perfect example of this, where AEW in the last 2 years since I started watching full time, we're going on 3 years, AEW has skyrocketed. And I don't mean it in a way of ratings, because we don't know the HBO Max numbers. But when I say skyrocketed, in the world of wrestling, WWE always was here, right? And when AEW came out, you know, they're red hot. They're red fucking hot, whatever. Pandemic happens, whatever, all this. But Cody going back to WWE and having that whole bloodline final boss, I would say the first year of Vince's departure, because everything that Vince McMahon had set up, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson definitely controls his creative. Um, Everything that Vince McMahon has set up and Dwayne The Rock Johnson input for that whole year, I think it's like a year and a half or so, um, was peak. It was fucking peak. And that's when people in my wrestling league was telling me, like, yo, bro, you gotta give AEW a chance. And I finally did, but I was even one of them people where it's like, I didn't want to watch a new wrestling show because I wouldn't know many people, and now I gotta relearn who's my favorite main eventer, and and then also that stigma of just like, oh, they don't, people saying they don't tell stories and stuff. I started watching for myself, and this is the wrestling that I love. Like, this is the wrestling that I love. These are the grown, um, not just grown matches, but grown promos and grown characters. So when I started being a diehard fan, I feel like AEW took a shift. It's kind of crazy. I'm glad that I'm a part of this now. It took a shift where some of the old guard that AEW was um, pushing or protecting or using as their face started taking a back burner, or they started leaning away from them because I don't know. I don't want to name anybody because I'm not, again, I don't work for AEW, so I don't want to I don't want to block any of my blessings because any of these wrestlers could be someone who ends up on this show, God willing, or follow me on my Twitter account, and maybe I have a relationship with them. So I don't want to call them cancers, excuse me, to the locker room. But we seen a lot of original AEW originals or AEW, like, people that you knew for AEW, even if they used to work somewhere else, they got more popular in AEW. We seen them kind of take the back burner, and the Will Ospreays start getting booked. The Swerve Strickland's getting a huge push. You know what I mean? The Samoa Joe getting a great push. But then there was a lot of these AEW originals like falling off. And Sammy Guevara, throughout it all, I feel like got repackaged a lot of times. They tried to put him with the Don Callis family, turn him heel. I forgot what happened, why he couldn't commit to the heel run. Um, and even before that, they had him with fucking Chris Jericho. Like, and this is before the IWC hated Chris Jericho or got tired of him. Like, they had him with peak Chris Jericho. Then repackaged, they tried to put him in Don Callis family. I forgot what happened, why he didn't want to commit to the heel. Like, he came on as a heel like 2 shows, did a promo. Even Takeshita was there with him on the promo. But there was something that happened where he couldn't commit to the full heel run. Then they repackaged him again. They put him down because he wasn't having matches that was exciting. Yeah, he does great spots, but the character of Sammy Guevara didn't have spunk. It didn't have didn't have aura. Didn't have aura. It had charisma. He was trying, but it just had no aura. And I felt like he was falling off. And Tony, the point of everything I'm saying is Tony is just a good guy from the outside looking in. He's a great guy. He keeps repackaging Sammy and trying. He gave him Dustin Rhodes. Him and Dustin became ROH trio tag team champions. And they still would be. They still would be if Dustin never needed surgery on both his knees. And I don't want to use the word force feeding because that's obviously bad. But I felt like Sammy was getting multiple shots. And I was like, all right, I want to see Dustin and Sammy lose. Like, I thought my idea was, or how I felt, they keep forcing Sammy to win, and it's not clicking with us. let him go on uh not an identity crisis, but like let him realize it's just not working. Cause what I love about AEW is they're real people and their real life and their kids or their divorce or um their disease or their surgery or whatever they're going through in life, they not interact, they intertwine it with their character because we're real people and that's what we love. Us adults that watch wrestling, this is our soap opera. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we want to see, real issues and real problems and real solutions. So, tie it back all in. Let me land the plane. I'm so sorry. I'm long-winded on that Sammy Guevara take. Um, but Sammy Guevara, I put Sammy Guevara promo, question mark, bring it, tie it back in, bring it back. I changed my mind. I think, I'm still on 50-50, but I think I changed my mind. I think they finally found the repackage that's going to work. Sami Zayn on LFI. At first, I was like, man, get this man out of here. Like, I love Roosh. Roosh needs his own push. Like, Roosh needs an actual push. Why do we want Sammy Guevara there? Like, why did it take Sammy Guevara going over there for LFI to win? The ROH Tag Champions should have just been Roosh and Beast Mortos or Roosh and Dralistico. It shouldn't have took Sammy Guevara leaving Dustin Rhodes because of 2 knee surgeries and then just turn heel and then now Roosh gets a win. Roosh is a better wrestler than Sammy. So Roosh and his brother Dralistico should have did it alone or Beast Motors. The LFI was already amazing to me. But again, I'm not shitting on Sammy because my question mark means Sammy Guevara promo. That quick promo that Sammy Guevara and LFI did at the tailgate, it changed my perspective because though Roosh can cut a good promo, and he does have a heavy Spanish accent, and I am black and Spanish, obviously it could be difficult for some people, but I love that feel of a Latino wrestler speaking English and mixing Spanish or speaking English and having a heavy accent and getting through the promo because everyone's different in this world. You're gonna interact with people every day, all day. If you're a real person and you go out and you're not just a fucking weirdo who sits on the computer all day, you're gonna interact with multiple people throughout life. And everyone tells, if you're having real conversations, everyone tells their story or what they're doing or what you're asking about differently. So I love when we get diversity. Just like Swerve Strickland doesn't cut a promo and talk like Roosh. Roosh doesn't cut a promo and talk like Hangman. Hangman isn't gonna cut a promo and talk like Hook. Right? All these people are from different places, seen different things, a part of different cultures, and they're gonna talk how they, you know what I mean? I love that. So though I love Roosh's broken English and heavy accent, and it gives that grit, you're gonna get the horns. You know what I mean? I really thought Sammy Guevara starting the promo and getting through, all right, this is what, it was a quick promo, but Sammy started the promo. He gave it direction, said, hey, Eddie Kingston, Hook, blah, 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 boom. And then Roosh came in with the sinister home run hit, and then you mess with the bull, you're going to get the horns, you know what I mean? So I thought that was very cool, and that was my take on that. That was a very quick match. This tag team match right here, this, it's tough. This was the best match on the tailgate. And I got a little cheat because I technically can't call this a tailgate match. And I'll get to that in a second. coming into AEW announcing the women's tag team division being crowned the first ever tag champions in a couple months. My pick for the tag team champions, it was Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. Without seeing any women tag match, I came here and I told you guys Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford should be the first ever AEW women's tag champions. And my reasoning behind this was Megan Bayne's character, she's like a goddess. And she wants the women's roster to bow down to her. When they presented her and debuted her, I think I don't know on Collision. I know she's 11-0 still. She hasn't lost on Collision yet. But when they debuted her, she just went on a crazy run. And when I say goddess, like that's her gimmick. She was just dominating the women's roster. I thought it would be the best idea because obviously she's been wrestling, and not to say, oh, she's old and people are tired. No one's tired of her. But the aura and the, not mystique of her, because we didn't know who she was yet. But like, I guess the mystique of it, of who is she and why is she so strong and shit. She's just dominating. Before we seen her take a pin, it was like, yo, she's going to beat everyone. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sorry. It's not a rebrand package, but just think of this. AEW Tag Tournament. Penelope Ford, and Megan Bayne. I just told you she's a goddess. That's her gimmick, and the whole women roster is going to bow down to her. If they booked Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, where Penelope Ford not Megan Bayne winning despite Penelope Ford, because no one wants to be that. But like, let's say they make Penelope Ford I'm trying to think, like Pinky in the Brain. Y'all seen Pinky in the Brain? Pinky in the Brain, right? So I think Megan Bayne should do all the heavy lifting. Basically, I would love Megan Bayne to win matches alone. Like, not even tag in Penelope Ford. Like, have Penelope Ford that come out, do the entrance, because she's so beautiful, and she do the, you know what I mean, boom, she crawls up, boom. Penelope Ford starts the match, and right when the bell rings, she just laughs and then tags in Megan Bayne, and then just stands there and watches Megan Bayne dismantle teams. You feel me? And then Megan Bayne would be looked at as, again, how she was brought in, where Megan Bayne is levels above people. So when they lose, you could just have Penelope Ford get pinned for the net. It doesn't have to be the craziest reign. You could just have the craziest run to get to the titles. And it would rebrand Megan Bayne as super superior. She'll have a belt for a month or two. And then you have Penelope Ford take the pin and put it on whoever else that you wanted to. Well, TJ, whatever. You know what I mean? Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm cut a crazy promo that I think is going to be very essential to the tag team division. But that was my initial thought. Let Megan Bayne run wild. Short title reign. It rebrands her back to the same person that we got initially introduced to as levels above, and then now get her back into singles, and then boom, we have a new opponent for Chris Statlander that has more credibility again. That was my idea. So when I say that was my idea coming into this the last couple months, that's what I've been preaching. Boy, oh boy, everything changed once Willow's fucking music hit. Willow. Dun, dun, dun. Man, Willow comes out. Oh my God. Willow's beautiful ass comes out. My whole energy changed. The whole temperature in the room changed. Willow was, oh, sidebar. Penelope Ford and Megan Bain entrance, ring gear, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. They had pyro. They got pyro for their entrance, and it was amazing. Penelope Ford, Megan Bain, Chef's Kiss. They are the money. They are the money. Oh my God! But that was my idea for them. Like I said, Willow's music hits. Y'all know how I feel about Willow. Willow is so over. I have the crowd is amazing. So not only is Willow over and the whole collapse was crazy, AEW fans, if y'all see this, I challenge you, AEW fans, for the next Willow match. I would think it would be very, very fire. When her theme music cuts off, continue the claps while she has her match in the same rhythm. Not the typical claps and then they start slow and then they start fast. Not that. I'm talking about keep the same rhythm of her entrance music. I think that on camera would be amazing and would come off amazing for her. And I think sonically, visually, I think it'll be fire. That's my challenge to you guys. Might be a challenge for myself because I might go to AEW next month. That I won't spoil yet. Again, so we are right here. Willow comes out amazing. Harley Cameron comes out first. Feel the rap. I love Harley Cameron. I have an idea for Harley Cameron too that I'll say in a second. But Willow came out. Crowd was so over. The match is getting started. When the match starts, we get a special announcement from Tony Khan mid-match. That is money. We want Tony Khan to make announcements during the tailgate. We want Tony Khan to make announcements during the tailgate. This is something that should happen moving forward. Doesn't have to happen every pay-per-view, but this was great. We're watching the pre-show, and then we're getting live announcements that are changing the pay-per-view card, right? So, I thought that was fucking amazing. The announcement was for the Jamie Hayter and Tekla match. The Triangle of Madness, Tekla's faction, could not be ringside. Everyone, and then Queen Aminata couldn't be there for Jamie Hayter. Everyone was banned from ringside. That was the first announcement. The second announcement was the big one for me. I don't know who heard or who watched the trio match of the Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate was now a number one contender for the Trios Tag Team Championship belt. Oh my God, Tony Khan. Man, when I tell you that was everything I needed to see, it doesn't matter who won. As soon as I seen that at the bottom of the screen, because you know the announcements come, you watch wrestling, the announcements come up right there, and it said number one contender, trio tag team champions, I knew, one, that Hurt Syndicate in the Demand match, which has been a highlight for the last couple months, a big highlight on AEW. I knew that match had match of the night contender because I knew they was gonna go all out, and it already was one of my favorite stories. Ricochet is one of my favorite right now. Bobby Lashley has always been one of my favorite wrestlers. If y'all know me and my neighbor back in Florida, John Query, one of my best friends. Shout out to John. We went and seen RVD versus Bobby Lashley in Orlando when we was young for the ECW Championship. Crazy match. The Almighty, always been one of my favorite wrestlers, man. So yeah, I saw that announcement. Crazy as fuck, and I love that. But while that's going, we're having a classic match. And again, I told you, at first I wanted Megan Bain and them to win, even though Willow is arguably my favorite women wrestler besides Mercedes Moné and Tony. I would actually have them no rank. It's those three no rank. On any given day, one of them would be my favorite. So no rank out of them three. They're my favorite three wrestlers, women wrestlers. We're having a classic match, right? There was a spot, a double suplex, where they're going back and forth, and Willow gets a tag to Harley Cameron, or Harley Cameron attacks Willow. Now they're both in the ring, and they're attacking Megan Bayne. And what looked like it would have been Harley Cameron on this side and Willow on this side, Megan Bayne obviously in the middle, arms wrapped around. I thought it was going to be a simple Harley Cameron and Willow doing a suplex to Willow. Megan Bayne pulls off a double suplex on Willow Nightingale's beautiful thick ass and Harley Cameron. What? Yes, double suplex, fire as fuck. Fire. After the double suplex, and again, obviously, bro, this took real strength. She does the double suplex on both of them. They both roll out the ring. Penelope Ford hits one of the best moonsaults outside of the ring that I have ever seen, man or women. She hits it. Both Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron are standing right here. She literally does the moonsault, flips, and hits right in between, hits both of them, lands on her feet. What? You are so money, baby. That was money. It was such a great spot. This match, I will say this. This match did two things. One, it made me respect Penelope Ford's game a little bit more, but it also makes me want to challenge Penelope Ford. You're wrestling with Megan Bayne as your teammate, and you're paired with Megan Bayne, and you guys are both beautiful women, and y'all have the it factor, as in when y'all come out, that entrance, the gear, how you look, it's all there. I would challenge Penelope Ford. Whatever speed she's wrestling at, turn the knob a little bit, Penelope Ford, baby. Just a little bit. Just a little bit for us. I feel Penelope Ford just turns that notch up just a little bit on the speed that she's wrestling. I swear these fans are going to get behind her. She has the look, has the gear, she has the entrance, she has the emotes, the fall down, the crawling. She's there. Everything is there. Just turn that notch on the speed that you wrestle at, and I swear we're all going to love it. The end of this match, though, at the end of this match, there's a moment where Willow Smith is about to do her finisher, the Babe with the power bomb, and it gets reversed. But when she was about to do it the very first time, in my head, I had already changed my mind, and I was like, what if, right? What if Willow and Harley, because I know Harley never held a belt in AEW, and Harley has teamed with everyone, right? What if Willow and Harley are the first tag team champions? What does that look like for AEW? And where does that pull everybody else? And I was like, that's not actually bad. Willow is amazing. Everyone loves Harley. And then I had this idea of not saying the women tag team belt could be centered around Harley Cameron, but everyone could have their own stories, right? Going TJ, Mina Shirakawa, and Tony Storm. They cut that promo at the end. which I think is going to lead to the tag team titles. I think they might actually be the first, and I'm not mad at it because I'll get to that promo in a second. Mina Shirakawa, Tony Storm, TJ. Who else do we have? Triangle of Madness. We're going to see the bracket Wednesday. So, but these are just a couple of the female tag teams, right? Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, obviously. But what if the center story, Harley Cameron, leading up to the pay-per-view, asked Mercedes Moné if she could team with her. Asked Chris Statlander if she could team with her. And then Willow too. And then did the match with Willow. What if the main story of the women's tag team division was Harley Cameron being like I don't want to use the word desperate, but like, you know how she's like so energetic and she just will do anything. She wants a team with everyone. She's friends with everyone. Where she wants everyone to feel the wrath and she wants to win the tag titles. Like, no. She even told Willow like, no, we're the best team. Like, I work the best with you. What if she said that with everyone and then she just wanted it so bad, but she either was the reason why they're losing or they can't click her and whatever team she's on. And the story is centered around Harley Cameron getting her first title here in AEW and being looked at as a wrestler because, you know, she's an artist that wears many hats, and just finding that teammate that works best with her, you know what I mean, and believes in her. Because obviously Willow was a babyface, where, you know, she'll believe in her, but they could suffer a tough loss, and neither one of them really, or it doesn't get hurt at all. So I thought that would be a cool story, like Harley Cameron teaming with everyone, like literally everyone, even the heels. Somehow she like makes them like break character or whatever, you know, like she gets a way to team with everyone and keeps failing until she don't. I thought that's a crazy ass idea and would work for the women's tag division. And then I have written down Babe with the power bomb. Changed my mind. Though I came into this match wanting Megan Bain and Penelope Ford to be the very first tag team champions and my idea to work, what I said, after watching this match, Harley Cameron and Willow, they won me over. Willow already had me over, but and I already loved Harley Cameron separately, but just them together, I thought it was a fire ass fucking team. I love Willow and I love Harley, like I said, separately, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna be like, oh, I want them to win this match. Because it's okay if you lose. I'm not one of the wrestling fans that's like, you got to win every match. Like, nah. But I will say this. This match, Harley Cameron and Willow versus Penelope Ford and Megan Bain, this match is what woke everybody up at the tailgate. And I wrote, this crowd is amazing. And when I wrote that down, I had no idea that the whole pay-per-view, this crowd was going to actually be what an AEW crowd should be. So going from that great match, we only had, I think it was like 7 minutes left of the tailgate and Jet Speed versus FTR. Only 7 minutes left. So in my head, I'm like, are they going to end the match? Like, what's going to happen? How does this go? And then, you know, I think it was Tony Schiavone he's like, oh, it's going to bleed into the real pay-per-view. So they're literally in the middle of the match, whatever, just locked up, back and forth punches. And the real pay-per-view starts and the match can't just end. So Tony Khan just has the fireworks going off the pay-per-view starting. We get the AEW, don't copyright this shit. The screen goes black, it comes back, and there's fucking fireworks going off. But we have a whole match going on. These niggas is beating each other's ass in the ring, and there's fireworks just going off. I never seen this beginning. I never seen a pre-show match bleed into the pay-per-view. When I tell you Tony Khan and AEW have really sparked my love and just for this game, man. They keep doing original ideas. And even if it's not totally original, there's might going to be some 70-year-old that watches, oh, they did that back in, shut the fuck up. We haven't seen it. It's not something you see all the time. It was, man, it was fire. I thought that was the dopest shit. Wait, hold up. Again, I have written down Jet Speed versus FTR, exclamation mark, is technically a pay-per-view match. It is not a tailgate match. This match started on the tailgate, but it ended on the actual pay-per-view. I tip my hat to Tony Khan because you got to think, right? Jet Speed, they're gaining traction. They organically gaining real traction. And he had them fighting arguably the best tag team ever, right? They're in the argument. Edge and Christian, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage said it. FTR is one of the best tag team champions ever. Tag teams ever. In any company. So to have Jet Speed facing them was already, and they've been facing them. They've been getting the rub. Kevin Knight pinned Dax in the solos. They've been getting the programming, the rub, and the spotlight on them for facing FTR. Excuse me, let me get a napkin. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. So they've been getting the rub by FTR. Pause when we mean the rub. It's just a wrestling term. If I'm more popular than you, and whether I'm going to lose to you, that's putting you over, or if we're just going to have a match and I'm going to win, but I'm going to make you look great in the win, I mean in your loss and my win, I'm going to make you look great while you're losing and having a match with me and I'm super popular. It's called the rub. Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Bailey, they've been getting the rub from FTR. For Tony Khan to have the brilliant idea of, we're going to start it in the pre-show, but it's going to bleed into the pay-per-view. So technically the pay-per-view starts. You guys are the opening match. And that spot right there, to me, was, if I'm Jet Speed, I would have ended the match and went into Gorilla and gave Tony Khan the biggest hug. That spot was insane. The match was beautiful between two amazing tag teams. And I look forward. It's not over because the end, if you didn't see, the way FTR won was the dirtiest way ever. Speedball Mike Bailey had the match. I believe it's Dak Harwood that's doing the move. And when he gets Speedball down to pin him, Stokely grabbed Speedball's legs so he couldn't kick out. And, you know, Big Stokely is FTR's manager. And if this is the ring, Stokely was right here laying down. So if you're just a ref looking, you couldn't see. And he just has his hands right here and he's holding his legs down. 1, 2, 3, and then he rolls under and he stays right here so you can't see him. It was such a great fin. It was such a great dirty finish. So that wraps up the pregame, the tailgate. This, like I said, this Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Megan Bain. This was the best pre-match show, pre-show match. I'm over here flipping my words and stuff. This brought the whole crowd awake. This right here was just such. It was an amazing match. Crowd was into it, but I really, really want to tip my hat off to Tony Khan for how he booked that. Now again, then the pay-per-view actually starts, right? Well, pay-per-view Ben started for me, but sorry. Oh man, my nose is so itchy. So the actual pay-per-view starts. I want to look at this card, and I want to let y'all know AEW's graphic team is undefeated. Totally undefeated. This graphic is beautiful as fuck. This is a great graphic. Show starts. We get Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. Initially, the first thing I thought was, I love Tekla's production. I had. All right. So the first two things was I love Tekla's production, and I have been asking for Jamie Hayter. Where's Jamie Hayter? And Tony Khan books the actual very first match of the pay-per-view. Y'all know, if y'all play my GM on any wrestling game, the very first match and the last match those are the two big matches on the card. Obviously, you could be like, oh, but nowadays we have multiple main events, and so the main event and the match before, yeah, co-main event is cool, but everyone knows you want a main event or you want to open the show. Every Dynamite, what happens? We open with the main character, not the main character, that's Hangman, but we start with the ace of AEW. Every Wednesday, we start with the ace, Jon Moxley. And if it's not Jon Moxley, it is the Death Riders, someone from his group, every show, 99.9% of the time. So for Jamie Hayter to get the opening match on WrestleDream's pay-per-view, me personally, I thought that was huge. For people that are on Twitter, I was vocal about, hey, where's Jamie Hayter? She's a great promo. When she returned from injury, she had so much promise. We want Jamie Hayter. We all love Jamie Hayter. She's great in ring. And we don't want to see her just on the shelf. Boy, Tony Khan answered everything everything I was saying. He just shut me up. He put Jamie Hayter and Tekla in the opening match of the pay-per-view. And when I say this shit was fire, this match was hard hitting. I saw a tweet. Someone's like, oh, I like my women matches hard hitting. I retweeted that shit so quick. There is something about a woman's wrestling match when both women aren't, I don't want to say playing it safe, but because you should play it safe. You're like, bro, it's a show. Like, I'm not trying to see someone actually get hurt just to make it look real. It's real already. You know what I'm saying? You're already punching them. You know what I mean? Whether you're pulling your punch or not. Like, nigga, you pull your punch a little less, whatever, anything can happen. It's real. But when I say Tekla's moveset, I wrote down Tekla's moveset's in fucking sane. Both got big pop by having this opening match. I feel like going from Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, Willow and Cameron, that was the best tailgate match, and that woke the crowd up. Then it went into the Jet Speed, FTR. That just kept the snowball effect was already going crazy because we never seen pre-show match bleed into the show. So the crowd was just like me, where they're like, "Oh, this is crazy." And then we go right into the first women's match. Jamie Hayter and Tekla had a banger. There was a spot where Tekla was gonna do her spider suplex, and she got in the tree of woe. The position is the tree of woe on the turnbuckle, and she's doing the hand sign to Hayter, like, you fucked up, and she's like, she picks herself up, and Jamie Hayter does it right back and hits her with a mean lariat off the turnbuckle. I also have written down Tekla's submission game is 101. I so badly wish I could show you the submission move Tekla was doing to Jamie Hayter, but I can't. And it's unfortunate because I'm just showing you things that are on Twitter. I should be able to react, but whatever. But Tekla's moveset is fucking amazing. Jamie Hayter and Tekla tore the house down. I loved at the end of the match, Queen Aminata made her way on the pay-per-view. Queen Aminata came and congratulated Jamie Hayter. The Julia Hart and Sky Blue, the Triangle of Madness, came and picked up Tekla, and that rivalry continues. And I thought that was fucking brilliant. It definitely was the money. The booking Jamie Hayter and Tekla to open up your pay-per-view, that was the money, Tony Khan. That was the fucking money. From Jamie Hayter and Tekla, we went right into the 500,000 tag team match. Now, this match right here, the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, I thought Jack Perry returning, right? I became a Jack Perry fan when he became the scapegoat. When he became the scapegoat and I seen the live footage, I really, I won't say I felt bad because he's rich. But in a sense, I felt bad for Jack Perry. Because it wasn't just a gimmick, the scapegoat. He was the scapegoat, and everyone hated him for making AEW, quote unquote, lose Punk. And it was unfair. And for them to make a gimmick out of it and then he knock it out of the park, that was the money, Jack Perry. And from them, since that moment, I was a huge fan. When Luchasaurus came back, I had a feeling Jack Perry was going to come back and they was going to do the Jurassic Express. Again, if you paying attention to what I say, you could see the timeline doesn't match up. I didn't get to see this in the beginning because I wasn't watching at the time. So I wasn't sure if I was going to love this tag team, like or dislike this tag team. But I knew I loved these each separate. What Luchasaurus storyline with Christian Cage was so fucking amazing, and injury made Tony Khan have to hit audibles, and I could talk about that forever. The audibles that Tony Khan had to hit. But I still loved Kill Switch at the time. And at the time, Jack Perry was scapegoat, and I loved the scapegoat gimmick, gear, ring gear, everything. Entrance, I loved it. The whole theme of him riding around in that all black bus, it just the money, just the money. So speaking of money, the 500K match, I was a little nervous because Young Bucks and I know I'd be like, oh, they might be the best tag team. Young Bucks are the best tag team ever. Hands down. Young Bucks, Hardy Boys. That's my hierarchy. Yep, I said it. Young Bucks are the number one tag team of all time. And you heard it first, and I co-signed this.
Alexander Legrand.
Young Bucks, every time I watch a tag team match of the Young Bucks, I just realize any wrestler who um who has the athletic ability that Young Bucks have or more. Um, but doesn't have the work ethic of the Young Bucks is selling themselves short. When I mean you're like no shit. Or how much work ethic does the Young Bucks? When I say that, I'm saying the Young Bucks have these moves, right? That we know they're gonna do every match, just like every wrestler. Every wrestler, newsflash, every wrestler has a move set and they do the same spot every match. I hope I just didn't crack Da Vinci's code for you. But nah, what I mean by the Young Bucks is we know they have these spots: TK Driver, BTE Trigger, Super Kicks, more bang for your buck. There's so many names of all these. They have so many moves, especially as tag team. They don't even. I don't even know the names of some of the tag team moves they do, but they do. They're just perfect. When I tell you, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, not just Jack Perry and Luchasaurus showed me, and you know they had to work with the Young Bucks. Young Bucks had a, you know what I mean, that both. Not to say I'm there. We don't know who said, hey, nah, I'm gonna do this, or oh, you should do this. But all four of their minds together, Luchasaurus and Jack Perry was reversing some of these Young Buck moves in ways I never seen ever. And when I tell you, I wrote down, I'm not even reading my notes. I wrote down Jack Perry's reversals just seem effortless and flawless. His reversal game is insane, and it's never just like, oh, you're doing this move, I'm gonna do this, and like what everybody else would. He was doing reversals to moves I never seen get reversed and pulling out Hurricane Ranas out the fucking yin yang. It was fucking insane. Not to get too ahead of myself, Young Bucks come out and they're broke right now. That's why they needed this $500K match. They went broke. So they didn't have no fireworks. They didn't have a Jumbotron. On the Jumbotron behind them is showing everything they wasted their money, and they only had $32 left. It was their bank account. It was their bank statement. There, that's what it was. It was their bank statement on the Jumbotron, and it's showing all their transactions. And then at the end, it showed their balance. They only had $32 and like 17 cents. So when they come out, they're like, it's like transaction failed or denied. Now fans are taking out $1 bills. There's a sign that says, I'll give you $20 for the Young Bucks and for a picture. Nick Jackson went over there and took a picture and asked for the $20. It was broke bucks and the fans that are ringside pulling out $1 bills. I think that right there, I wasn't supposed to hit the gunshot, but I think that right there is the money. I think Young Bucks, please. I know you can't control the crowd, but if on Wednesday, if you guys come out and the crowd is offering $1 bills for pictures and stuff, I would lean into this. Obviously, they're rich. They don't need nobody's money. If it's just $1 bill, who cares? You taking it. Nigga, a fucking beer is like $7, $10 at a wrestling event. So giving $1 for a picture, nigga, that's a steal. I'm about to pay $100 to meet Sting at Comic-Con. So giving $1 to get a picture, that's amazing. Sting's charging $100 at Comic-Con. But $100 for a picture, nigga. $100 for a picture, nigga. $100 for a picture. A goddamn picture. So back to the beginning. So yeah, Bucks, the $20, the $1, walking around, that shit was tears, and I would lean into that. Jack Perry and Luchasaurus music hits. Mind you, I love their theme. theme song already. I love that theme. And my boy Nito said Tony Khan licensing. Is that how you say it? Putting a license or just paying so he could have real theme music is game changing. I love that certain wrestlers have actual songs as their theme song. Jack Perry comes out. One of the things I would lean into right now, Jack Perry on his render on AEW.com, it says Jungle Jack Perry. So he's not Jungle Boy no more. Jungle Jack Perry. If I am AEW, after Jack Perry's amazing ring gear, which I would tell him to use while he's Luchasaurus, a dinosaur, Luchasaurus, the Hunter, Jack Perry. Jack Perry came out and in his ring gear was inspired by the Hunter Craven. Actually a bad guy from Marvel and Spider-Man bad guy. But in the movie he kind of looked like a hero, but he's really he's a villain. But I would change that right now if I'm Tony Khan. I'll instead of Jungle Jack Perry, I'll put the Hunter Jack Perry. And if he's comfortable, if Jack Perry is comfortable, I would have him have some of his matches with that fur on. That shit was the money. That ring gear was the money, man. Jack Perry coming out like Craven was insane. So I do have the first note after all of that. I have Jack Perry does this reversal to one of the biggest Young Bucks spots and gets into a Hurricane Rana. And then right after that, I have I am sorry, Luchasaurus. I was not familiar with your game. That was my note. I am sorry, Luchasaurus. I was not familiar with your game. Man, there was just so many spots, not just for Jack Perry reversing or stopping a Young Buck spot, but there was just little things. And when I say a spot, I'm not talking about something gimmicky. I'm talking like real wrestling. Like Luchasaurus is huge compared to Nick and Matt Jackson. Like they weigh like 100 pounds soaking wet. But both of them took Luchasaurus down at one point. Luchasaurus from down gets up. Long arm puts both of them in the chokeslam position and then kips up without using his hands. Kips up while having them like this. Bro, shout out to Luchasaurus, man. Yeah, and shout out to that crowd. That fucking crowd was so involved. Luchasaurus got the biggest ovation I ever seen him get. Huge. And then because the crowd realized Jack Perry was starting the match, they started chanting for Jack Perry. Literally. They went from Luchasaurus to Jack Perry. This crowd was fucking perfect for me, man. There was a chicken spot, chicken fight spot, which was cool as fuck, was dope, was original. Never seen that happen. We got this is awesome chants after the chicken fight. I have this on my notes. As the commentators are breaking down the tag teams, literally I'm having this thought. I'm like, I never seen another booking do this $100,000 match. If it's a tag match, $500,000, $300,000 match. I never seen that being booked in the story ever, right? And I wanted to shout out Tony Khan because in wrestling, to make a match important, you obviously, one, put a title on the line. Two, you have a very, very, very good storyline. Three, the two people wrestling never fought before. and it could be like a big fantasy match, or just the two people never fought before, and it's just a big match because it's their first time ever, and it's two big names. 4, someone debut, so that doesn't need a story. Just let's say, I don't know, Andrade, whatever, debuting back in AEW. He didn't need a story why he attacked Kenny. It's his debut. Whether he wants to be a heel or a babyface, it's his prerogative. So a debut or a re-sign or something like that, you know what I mean, or a return from injury. It's like 4 reasons why you have a match. You know what I'm saying? Or why a match is interesting, not why you have a match. There's a million reasons why two wrestlers want to fight, but 4 reasons why a match is interesting. Tony Khan introduced a brand new reason why a match is interesting. This whole story behind the money and wrestlers getting extra money, and then having it tie into that wrestler, whoever won, into their promos, what they bought with the money, or what they're doing, or how it's helping them. I just thought that was very unique booking. And again, an older wrestling fan might be like, oh, that used to be a thing on NWA. I'm going to be like, hey, that's cool. I'm not saying he invented it. I'm just saying to utilize this, I love these money matches. I love them. Let's see. Wild spot. Oh, so at one point, right? At one point, it's not the Tony Khan driver. It's not the TK driver. But they have Jack Perry almost in a pile driver position. More look like a package pile driver. Matt Jackson. And then Nick Jackson jumps off the top rope and stomps on Jack Perry while his brother Matt is pile driving him down. Excuse me. Jack Perry kicked out. When Jack Perry kicked out, my initial thought was, damn, like, and I'm a sicko. I love long matches, and I love niggas cooking. But I was like, that looked like it killed. Like, that looked like it underlive, bro. Like, how do you kick out of that? And not every match needs to be a kick out crazy match. That was my initial thought when that moment happened. I'm gonna be honest, right? That was my first thought, right? I'm like, dang, I would have been happy with Young Bucks winning, right? Like, them doing that move looked like it should end the match. You know what I mean? Like, no one should be able to kick out of that, right? But after he kicked out of that, another crazy sequence on the flip side. Sorry, I had to read the notes and catch where I was. On the flip side, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, they go on a crazy sequence, and then they do I don't want to call it the Doomsday, but they do their tag team finish, what they've been winning matches with Luchasaurus putting opponent on his on the chicken fight position right here. Wrestlers call it electric chair. And then Jack Perry doing a lariat off the top rope to the opponent. And the Young Bucks kicked out. So now they're 1-1 on crazy moves that they kicked out of. And then they got Fight Forever chance. And y'all know the most important chance you could get in a wrestling match is Fight Forever, This Is Awesome, or the wrestlers' names. Let's say if it's Let's Go, Mina, Tony Storm. You know what I mean? Like, having these chants are most important. This is awesome, Fight Forever, or the two wrestlers' names. If it's Mina and Tony Storm, Let's Go, Mina, Tony Storm. Let's Go, Mina, Tony Storm. It's the best chance that a wrestler can receive, and it comes off the best on TV. It feels the best in the building. After they broke out of that Jurassic Express Finn, I quickly changed my mind, and I said, hold on. we have a classic on our hands. And we're going on one, two, three. We're going on 3 classics in a row. Willow's match, Willow Harley Cameron, Penelope Ford, Megan Bain, Jet Speed and FTR, Jamie Hayter and Tekla. We're on 3 in a row. After this, I was like, oh shit, this is a fucking banger. Oh shit, there was a spot where Luchasaurus, after all this is happening, this is getting towards the end. Luchasaurus is trying to end with a choke slam. He goes to choke slam Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson runs under the choke slam. So if I'm holding a person like that and I'm about to go down, I'm holding him up like that. His legs are right here because it's the body. The head's going to be up here. I'm choke slamming, right? Choke slamming. Nick Jackson runs under the choke slam and pushes the legs. So Matt flips out of the choke slam. I never, ever seen someone reverse a choke slam like that. I thought that shit was fucking crazy. Jack Perry and them, they end up getting a crazy, crazy win, and they used their original. I'm assuming, again, I told you, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't watching at the time. So, but on commentator, the context clues kind of gave me the feel that this was their original tag team finisher when they first made Jurassic Express, and that's how they won. At the end, the Young Bucks are in the ring still. Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. They're about to leave, and Jack Perry, he turns around and he extends his hand to both Matt and Nick. He's going to try to help both of them up and then shake their hand. They was a team at one time. But instead, I think he even offered him $100. I think he pulled out $100 and tried to give him a stack. But instead, the Don Callis family come out and attack Jurassic Express. Young Bucks leave them, even look and watch them get beat up, don't even do nothing. Kenny Omega's music hits. Kenny Omega, man. Kenny Omega comes out, huge pop. Kenny Omega saves the day. Before he saves the day, though, he does stop at the ramp, looks at the Young Bucks, and tells him, go help Jack Perry. And they refuse. So, are the Elite going to slowly get back together? Are we going to see a babyface turn from the Young Bucks? I can't wait. That match, chef's kiss. So far, we're 4 for 4, and Tony Khan is cruising. And again, I do want to say, you guys was on the internet saying this right here was a bad lineup. Fucking buffoons. Don't know shit and just always talking shit. That's it. That's all it is. Then we go right into the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand for the number 1 contender for the trio belt. My initial thought, the match is about to start. The video package plays. The video package is fucking amazing. And when I tell you this has been one of my biggest highlights the last like 2 months of AEW, I'm being dead ass. The promo skills that Ricochet has shown has either silenced all the haters or has made everyone that was a hater look so stupid, and they're still holding on to, oh, he can't cut promos, he can't, he's just good for flips. They're just showing their true colors. Ricochet's character work, character development, promo work has been amazing. Amazing, bro. So, Hurt Syndicate's coming out first. Man, when I tell you, the Hurt Syndicate's entrance was going to be a all-time AEW entrance ever. They had the pyro, the fireworks. The crowd was about to lose their mind. We hurt people. We hurt people. Hey, yo, we hurt people. We hurt people. They was about to go crazy, and the demand ruined the entrance. Remember, tornado tag match. So no tagging, no nothing like that. It's basically Extreme Rules. Um, the demand run out in the middle of the crowd chanting we heard. So we didn't even get the full entrance. They didn't even make it to the ring, but it just started. We heard people. The crowd was so loud. It was gonna tear the roof off. The demand was very smart. When I say very smart, that was a great writing in the story for demand to cut that very short. Bobby Lashley. So the match starts right when they cut off. They say, "Fuck that entrance, fuck all that, nigga," and they start the match. We have Bishop Khan, Ricochet beating up MVP and Shelton Benjamin, and the camera goes to Toa Leon and Bobby Lashley, who already had 2 solo matches, and they're just going at it. They're having their own solo one-on-one match, not even worried about the other 2. They're just over near the ringside people, throwing each other onto the steel steps to get into the ring, onto the barricade. I'm not gonna lie, this match, all you fucking nerds, all you fucking losers that wanted to talk so much shit just because you're mad that your company fumbled the Hurt Syndicate, because you're mad maybe that an all-black faction is top tier and is getting booked like top tier people. Maybe you're mad and maybe you're the problem in the IWC, the internet wrestling community. Maybe you guys are the problem. Not maybe, I know it is. Y'all want there to be an issue with AEW. Y'all want there to be a bad locker room. You want this company to fail so bad because they proved you wrong and they're booking better shows. The Hurt Syndicate has not missed since being signed. The Hurt Syndicate is and can argue of being the highlight of the show since being signed. When the match starts, like I said, Bobby's over there fighting by himself with Toa. We got these 2. Ricochet takes out Shelton. Bishop Khan and Ricochet take out MVP. The camera flashes. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? Go over there. Go. Go. The camera flashes. Y'all want to see my dog? What's up, baby? All right. The camera flashes. The camera flashes back to Bobby and Toa fighting. All right. Go, baby. I'm doing my review. Go. The camera flashes to where Bobby and Toa is fighting. Bobby ends up taking Toa out, throwing him on the barricade. And Ricochet just flies out of nowhere. Wow! And hits him with a spirit gun. Takes out Bobby for a little bit. Everything that y'all said the Hurt Syndicate doesn't do, put people over, take bumps. Everything y'all said they don't do, this match, they did it all. They did it all. And earlier I said about rub. I explained about getting a rub. The Gates of Agony, Toa and Bishop Khan before Ricochet, you could say they was lost in the sauce. AEW had 1 million tag teams. The roster is huge as fuck. They wasn't getting much love. Ricochet comes over here. The Hurt Syndicate comes over here. I saw the first regular tag match. Bobby Lashley and Shelton versus Bishop Khan and Toa in Boston. Me and my girl saw that live. The first time they ever fought. The Hurt Syndicate versus Gates of Agony. We saw it live. That match was so fucking fire, right? And then when I rewatched it at home, MVP was on commentator. This is before Ricochet made a fact, even was an idea. MJF is on commentary saying how much he likes the Gates of Agony, saying how much he respects the Gates of Agony work, how much he respects them as wrestlers, and MVP doesn't do that to his opponents. He puts his team over on commentary. Sorry, excuse me. So for him to say these things, when I was like, oh shit, they actually do fuck with the Gates of Agony, and they're trying to get them over. And back to the rub. If I'm more popular than you, just because I win the match, it doesn't mean you got buried. I could beat you, but you just putting up an amazing match with me just boosted your stock immediately. And that's what the Hurt Syndicate have done for not only Gates of Agony, but Ricochet. This has been a great, great story. I have the Spirit Gun spot. I have everything that you guys said that they wouldn't do. There was a spot where Gates of Agony did their finisher on Shelton Benjamin. So it's a crucifix. One wrestler on this side holding. This is the arm right here holding. My arm's in your armpit. This is your torso. I'm gonna hold you up. My other teammate on the other side holding your arm. This is where the armpit is. This is the torso. Hold them up. So on each side we're holding them up, and then we throw them down like a crucifix, right? He's making the cross like this. That's why it's called the crucifix. And they threw Shelton Benjamin on top of Bobby Lashley onto a table, taking a huge bump. But I thought Bobby Lashley doesn't take bumps. And again, wrestling in AEW has to make sense. Everywhere it should make sense. But I feel like the story being told in the ring is just as important as the story being told in the promo. So, Bobby is out of the match for a very long time. Bobby's out of the match for a very long time because of that spot. Shelton is out for a little less, but still a good amount of time. The last time we had a trios match, not the street fight, the regular trio match, the demand won because MVP was singled out in the ring. And, you know, he's a little older, and they ganged up on him. This time, MVP singled out in the ring. He held his own just enough for Shelton Benjamin to get back. Man, when I say Shelton Benjamin, that man doesn't age. He just doesn't age. He threw Ricochet over his head outside of the ring. Like, just threw him. Man, this match, we had the classic MVP ballin' spot, and this match just was perfect, bro. This match was perfect. The Hurt Syndicate made the Demand look like a fucking faction to be fucked with. If they're making the Hurt Syndicate go to their limits, the Demand is a top tier faction. And what I loved about the Hurt Syndicate winning the match, even though they're helping the Demand and Ricochet and Gates of Agony get their stock up. What I love about the Hurt Syndicate winning this match, they are now the number one contenders for the AEW Trio Tag Team Championships. And this is important to me because the only belts that have been missing storyline or any real direction has been the trio tag belts. That is the only titles in AEW that haven't had real direction. As soon as the Hurt Syndicate won, I literally thought, this is great, because now the Hurt Syndicate has to beat the Ops. The Hurt Syndicate have to beat the Ops. Right? They just have to beat the Ops. There's no way Hurt Syndicate loses. The Ops have been... I love the fucking Ops. I love the Ops. But they haven't did any storyline with that damn title. They have like 3 defenses. But the Hurt Syndicate, they have a promo every week. Most of the time, they have a match and a promo every week. Sometimes, if they don't have a match, they have 2 small promos on every week. If there's 2 small promos or a promo in a match or just a promo, the trio tag belts, Prestige being on MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and the almighty Bobby Lashley, the trio tag belts are going to be relevant again. And I have them winning. First time. They're not going to lose. This match right here was money. Shout out to The Demand. Fucking salute. Shout out to Hurt Syndicate. Salute. You guys tore the fucking house down. And we are now 2 tailgate matches. 3. So we're 5. We're 5 for 5 right now on this fucking pay-per-view. This pay-per-view that all of you shit on. That you all said wasn't gonna be worth $50. Nigga, this shit was worth $50 when Jamie Hayter and Tekla fought. Nigga, after Jamie Hayter and Tekla fought, I deadass was happy with the 50. No bullshit. Right after that, we went into Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe part 5. All right. So for this match right here, Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher have every match they have done has been amazing. I'm not gonna lie, has been amazing. But me personally, I have difficulty with enjoying to the highest level of I can enjoy a match when I feel I know the winner. When I feel I know the winner for wrestling, I don't want to say it takes away from the match, because this match changed my mind in real time, is what I'm trying to say. But I just come into the match a little bit like damn, I kind of already know who won. So it's like some of the moves because wrestling is like, oh, I hit a signature on you and I try to pin. In AEW, people win off their signatures. That's what I love. In AEW, Kyle Fletcher has like 4 signature moves, right? Where in the other company, you never win off a signature. You only win off a finisher or a dirty move. But in this company, a lot of the wrestlers have so many moves, they let them win off of signature moves instead of always a finisher. And I love that. But I say all that to say, when I feel like I already know who's gonna win for this Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher, when Mark Briscoe does a signature move, I kind of don't pop for the 1, 2, oh, he kicked out. I'm kind of not like, oh my God, because I kind of felt like I already knew it, right? But when I tell you, this match in real time changed how I felt, I think this might have been their best match, honestly. For the whole beginning, coming into this match, the whole beginning of the match, I already thinking like, yo, Mark Briscoe's going to take wild bumps. Pause. Like, he's just going to take crazy ass bumps. But they both was. Bro, we had Mark Briscoe hit a Jay Driller on Kyle Fletcher. Excuse me, sorry. Kyle Fletcher on the apron, like almost outside the ring. Like, so if this is the ring right here, the side of the ring right before you fall off on the hard part. He hit his finisher, his brother's finisher, on Kyle Fletcher on the apron, bro. That shit looked so hard hitting. The crowd was lit as fuck for this the match. We had 2 "This is awesome" chants. We had Kyle Fletcher, another crazy bump. Kyle Fletcher did a power bomb to Mark Briscoe. He flipped the steel so if you're like walking up the stairs, he flipped them this way so it was flat, and he power bombed his back on the steel chairs. Man, I'm dead ass telling you, this if you're gonna watch any Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe, this was the one. This was the money. Going towards the end, I love how it finished. Kyle Fletcher tried to get a cheap win with a low blow, and it only was a 2 count. So again, if you know wrestling, usually finisher, match is over, or low blow, match is over. The heel in this match, a low blow, thinking, hey man, like, what do I got to do? I'm gonna get this man out. He kicked out of the brain buster. He kicked out of his brain buster. So Kyle Fletcher said, fuck this. Like, I got to win dirty, and low blowed him and still couldn't win. And Kyle Fletcher, I wish I could show you. Kyle Fletcher did like a funny ass face. He was all like, oh nervous. Like, what am I going to do? He kicked out at the low blow. And Kyle Fletcher, just like Konosuke Takeshita, he also does the avalanche brain buster, where he does the brain buster, put you up there, boom, he's about your head's right here, and he drops you. Like, you climb the turnbuckle and you jump off the turnbuckle. He's standing on the turnbuckle. He drops your head on the turnbuckle. Him and Konosuke Takeshita both use this as a super finisher, and I was very happy to see that Kyle Fletcher didn't win off of the low blow, and he used his super finisher, and that's how he retained his TNT title. That match was amazing, and like I said, in real time, it changed my whole opinion on, man, I hate when I can predict. Even though I predicted right, the whole match was amazing, and the storytelling in the match was dope as fuck. Going from that, we go right into the Women's World Champion. The Women's World, my bad. I was looking at, sorry, I didn't put the respect on Kyle Fletcher. I did say it at the end, but that was the TNT Championship match. And I'm trying to think. That was the first championship match, the TNT title championship match. Then we go into the Women's World Title Championship match. Toni Storm has no chill and has no reason being so good on promos. She dropped a video package before her match, and it was fucking crazy. And I'm thinking, this is peak. This is peak. Bro, Harley Cameron narrated Chris Statlander's video package, and it literally was right here. Toni Storm's video package, where she narrated herself, and then Harley Cameron narrated one for Chris Statlander. That shit was fucking crazy. I'm 99.8% it was Harley Cameron, because at the end she yelled the Stat Daddy thing. But it could have been Toni Storm. It was one of their voices, but just fucking amazing. And if it was Toni Storm, the ability for Toni Storm to do her own narration for her video package and then do Chris Statlander, her opponents, was crazy as fuck. Yeah, but that was fucking dope. And I love how they're using this slogan, Godspeed, for Chris Statlander, because she's like supposed to be like from out of this world. Right off the bat, I love the reaction of the crowd. I will be honest. There was moments in this match, because we're a lot of matches in at this point. There was some parts in this match where I did feel the crowd come down a little bit from the mega high they was on. But I will say, I thought Chris Statlander, I don't know if she planned this, or I'm going to say she did because she's the world champion. I thought that was an amazing spot. The crowd starts chanting Tony Storm. Chris Statlander is the world champion and a babyface. So that makes you worried, right? As a fan that knows wrestling, it's like, dang, why they're cheering? Even though Tony Storm, the biggest fucking women wrestler in the world. Right now, Chris Statlander is the one. So the crowd starts chanting Tony, Tony, and Chris Statlander does this fucking flip. Immediate, like it's a bang bang thing. Tony, Tony, and Chris Statlander does this flip right when they hit their second Tony, Tony, Tony. The second Tony, she does this backflip off this apron, does this crazy ass move, and shuts the whole crowd up. Everyone stops chanting Tony, and everyone switched to Statlander chants. And I thought that shit was perfect timing, and I thought that was just great for the world champion to hear the crowd and shut that shit down immediately. I got that. Yep, I said that. Tony Storm did a Tiger Driver. Crazy. So Statlander did this new submission, right? Or that they said that she just started doing it, but I haven't seen it. Maybe I missed it, but Chris Statlander put Tony Storm in this new submission in the middle of the mat, and Tony Storm barely broke the plane to you have to get off of the rope, right? Chris Statlander, out of nowhere, never have I ever seen her act like this. Chris Statlander did a Blue Thunder Bomb. And right after she did the Blue Thunder Bomb, Chris Statlander did a Raging Fire. Has Chris Statlander been watching Konosuke Takeshita? Boy, when Chris Statlander did the Blue Thunder Bomb in the Raging Fire, I swear to God, I jumped out of my seat. And I wanted her to win with that Raging Fire so bad. I thought that shit was... I was like... I was shocked. What the fuck? Like, I wonder... I wish we could just ask Chris Statlander, like, get like an interview. Like, bro, was that like... Did you do that because of Konosuke? Like, you did his signature and then went into his finisher immediately. It's not like she did a Blue Thunder Bomb, did moves later on in the match, then did a Raging Fire. It was signature and finisher, just like Konosuke Takeshita. Like, it had to be. I don't know. I would love to find out, though. That shit was fucking crazy. That shit was fire. I have Chris Statlander reversal. Oh my God. Chris Statlander reversed Tony Storm's Storm Zero by putting her hands on the floor. You know, Storm Zero is a power driver. So Chris Statlander's head's right here. She basically did a handstand. Bro, it was fucking crazy. It was crazy. I'm not going to lie. That reversal was dope as shit. And then to end the match, I thought it was, again, super poetic, super character development, super cinema, super peak. Statlander has Tony Storm in her new submission in the middle of the mat now. Tony Storm can't get to the rope. She can't break the submission. She moves Statlander's leg just enough so she could look at Statlander and says, "Just fucking kill me already." And Tony Storm, and then Statlander picks her up and hits her with the second Saturday Night Fever. And that is how the match ends. Tony Storm saying, "Just fucking kill me already," and then getting hit with the second Saturday Night Fever of the match. I thought that match was fucking money. I thought the match was money. Like I said, there was some moments in the match where the crowd's been on their fucking feet for at least 4 hours now. Like, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 matches left. The crowd been on their feet since goddamn 7 p.m. Crowd been going crazy. So I understand. I'm not mad at the crowd for the middle of the match how it was the crowd was dull. The match was never dull. The match was fucking amazing. And I'm so happy for them that the crowd woke back up because this match they deserve all their flowers. That shout out to them. And I want to say shout out to Chris Statlander, shout out to Tony Storm for making Chris Statlander feel and look like an amazing champion. Right after Chris Statlander wins, she's getting her moment on the, you know what I mean? The post-match credit, basically. Post-match vibes. She's going, you know what I mean? She's out there. Immediately after Tony Storm gets out and Statlander's in the ring showing off her belt, Mercedes Moné's music hits. Mercedes Moné just retaining the CMLL title literally 2 days ago in Mexico. No, not 2 days ago. A day ago. She had to take a jet. She had to take a jet to the show. Literally a day ago. Comes back to wrestle an open challenge. But before we get to that, she cuts off the world champion. She gets in the ring with all her belts. And she takes the mic and tells the world champion, hey, yo, congratulations on your win. But, yo, get out of my ring. This is the TBS champion, Ultimo Monet, going for her 11th belt to break Ultimo Dragon record of holding 10 titles at one time. Chris Statlander says, I see you, and gets out the ring. Mercedes Moné in the ring, aura on fire. We had the frat boys dancing with all the belts, which was funny. And guess who answers the open challenge? Excuse me. Mina Shirakawa. When I tell you I was not thinking Mina, and I don't know why I wasn't thinking Mina. Mina is someone who was white fire, blue fire, whatever the hottest fire is. She was on fire last year when the whole Tony Storm, Mariah May story was unfolding. I don't think she lost any buzz. Not with me, but with the rest of the world, I feel like she took a little bit, you know what I mean? I don't want to say come down to earth because we want Mina. It's still trend. It's still a trend on Twitter. We want Mina. And I don't know why I wasn't thinking Mina answering the open challenge, but it just makes so much sense. Mina answering the open challenge because she's the what is the word they use? Give me a second. It's not temporary. She's the temporary ROH TV champion because of the TV champion is hurt. I'm trying to think. There's a word for it. Anyways, y'all get what I'm saying. When Red Velvet comes back, she's gonna have to fight Mina to see who's the actual TV champion. Right now, she's the temporary TV champion. I forgot the word. I don't know. I can't think of the word. I'm sorry, y'all. But so boom. This is part 3. This is part 3. The Mina versus the CEO. What I love about their chemistry is not only is Mina hard hitting in the ring, Mina Shirakawa is the Asian Tony Storm, put it like that, where her character is so overpowering. Obviously, it's not the same gimmick, but what I'm saying is she's 10 toes down on her character. Her character is so fire where she does the dance. She comes out. They changed the song because they probably didn't want to license it. But she comes out to that reggaeton, that Spanish song. She does the dance. Then when she gets in the ring, she's doing the dance. She's kissing Tony Storm. Like, she has her own character. So she's facing fucking the CEO who does her own dance, who's her own character and her own mocking people. So this is the third time they met. Bro, Mina gets Mercedes out the ring, she's already doing the CEO dance. Literally, before the match is barely just started. She's mocking Mercedes Moné doing the CEO dance. Then she does her own dance, getting on the floor and going like that. It's just a whole aura off. They're just going aura for aura. Oh yeah. All right. So after the showboating, the crazy part about it was the storytelling in this match was crucial. The storytelling in this match was so crucial. In the beginning of the match, Mina went for a figure four leg lock. That's one of her signatures. Like, I'm talking ding ding ding, bell rings, she does the dance. And then literally right after she does the dance to Mercedes, she tried to get her in her signature. She was trying to end the match very early. Right after she mocked her, Mercedes Moné ends up getting her on the floor, and Mercedes Moné goes for her signature. Like, this is how you storytell without a promo. This is storytelling in the match. One person went for their signature very early because they want to hurry up and win this belt. They mock the champion. The champion goes for a roll-up pin to catch him by surprise. Mina kicks out. Then instead of getting up to do other moves, she said, fuck that. They're already on the floor. She rolled her over and put her in her sig. She said, oh, you want to end this bitch quick? Nigga, I want to end this bitch quick too. Fuck that. So, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, was going to break Ultimo Dragon's record. It's something that she's been talking about on Twitter. Something she's been talking about on all her promos. It's something everyone knows that she wanted to. So the desperation to hurry up and end the match of someone that you already fought 2 times and had classic matches, that storytelling is very key to me. Let's see. I also have... Oh, so I also had... I told you guys, this is one of the most important chants in wrestling. Let's go, Mina, CEO. Let's go, Mina, CEO. This happened 3 times on my notes. This happened 3 times, and not 3 times in the whole match. 3 times to where this note is. And this note is one of the first 5 notes of this match. It already happened 3 times. The crowd was so lit for these 2 women. And when I tell you, I was so fucking happy. We got 3 women matches on one pay-per-view. Bro, I don't care what the fuck y'all feel about Mercedes Moné and her having all of these indie titles that y'all never fucking even heard about. That doesn't change anything, but y'all want to cry because y'all hate to see a black bitch win. But I want to tell y'all right now, this is the Mercedes Moné effect. 3 women matches on an AEW pay-per-view. Technically 4 if you're counting the one on the pre-show. 3 on the real main pay-per-view, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. The Mercedes Moné effect is real. It's real. I also have written down, I love when Mercedes Moné fights someone smaller. All of her moves look vicious and are executed flawless. That is something I want to tip my hat off to Mercedes. Mercedes is a small woman. So she's always fighting. She's always facing someone who's bigger than her. There's never a match where you're watching a Mercedes Moné match and you're like, oh, I'm trying to think who is smaller than her. The Renegade, I forgot her name, something Renegade. She's very skinny. I feel like Mercedes had great movement and great chemistry with her. Athena also isn't that big, height-wise and body-wise. She's thicker than Mercedes, but I don't think she's taller. That Athena versus Mercedes, I saw that shit live. That shit was fucking insane in Boston. But yeah, just you get my point. When Mercedes faces someone that's smaller than her or the same size as her, it's just amazing because she's always facing someone bigger than her. Give me 1 second. You know we have Sunday morning football. We have Sunday morning football, so I do have to make sure all of my lineups are good. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure. I mean, I could leave him in. It's not that big of a deal. All right, leave him in. Give me 1 second. I'm almost done. Sorry about this, you guys. Seriously, sorry. Give me 1 second. Almost done, brother. Almost done. Oh, Brock Bowers is actually out today. All right, bye. All right, so I don't need him there. Give me a second. Almost done. Is that Sunday night? Nope. Leave him in. Almost done. Oh. Give me 1 second. Almost done. I am almost done. And we insert George Kittle back into our lineup. All right. I do believe I am all set. I'm so sorry about this, you guys. It's just I only have 2 minutes. And I really thought this what time is he facing at 4? That's gonna fuck me. Josh Jacobs, man. All right, we're gonna trust that he's gonna play. All right, sorry about that. Back to where I was going. Let me look where I'm at. Oh, all right. So we have me. Oh, the note of Mercedes fighting a smaller opponent. My next note was Mina's finally starting to get some offense in, and the very next has a star next to it, and it says Mina's top rope sling blade looks brutal. I don't know if you guys watched this. Mina hit a sling blade off the top rope on Mercedes Moné, and Mercedes landed right on her head. Obviously, I feel like Mina protected her. I'm not saying it was dirty, but for the viewer, it looked nasty. Headshot. Man, Mina took her out. They went through a sequence. So they went through a sequence, and I thought it was over, right? Like I even thought it was over. Like I was completely fine with Mercedes winning in this moment, right? Mina kicked out. The little thought in my head again, I'm like, are they doing the AEW thing where every match got to be, 700 finishers? But then I started thinking of the writing aspect in this is their third match. This is Mercedes Moné's third match with Mina. At some point, your opponent learns you. At some point, the same thing that got you that first win ain't going to get you the second win. And if it got you the second win, it's damn sure ain't going to get you the third win. So then I started thinking, the light bulb flicked. Here goes even more writing. This is storytelling within the match without a promo. This is the storytelling that real wrestling fans pick up on, and I'm just like, wow. All right, so I get why she kicked out. Oh yeah, I thought it was over. A dirty win. Mercedes Moné, like I said, what you beat me last time ain't gonna always work. It's not gonna work the second time, and if it did, it's not gonna work the third time. Mercedes Moné had to finally had to win dirty. She finally had to win dirty. She did her finisher, and she had to put her foot on the rope to add pressure to get the pin. When I tell you 2026, Mercedes Moné is going to put whoever Mercedes Moné puts over, and I know she's going to do it to multiple people. Let me wrap this up. Mercedes Moné wins dirty, right? So now she breaks Ultimo Dragon's record. She has 11 titles across 8 different countries. And my first thought was, because they mentioned Red Velvet, when Red Velvet comes back from injury, obviously it's going to be in 2026. Not 20. Mercedes Moné is going to, I remember this. I guarantee you Mercedes Moné puts her over. By 2026, Mercedes Moné is going to be helping. She's already helping. She helped the indie scene amazingly. She helped AEW tremendously. We have 3 fucking women matches on the main pay-per-view, right? We're getting women promos out the ass on our shows or segments. This is the Mercedes Moné effect. Her favorite writer left the Fed and came over here too. This is the Mercedes Moné effect. But why I think she's going to put over Red Velvet, and if it's not Red Velvet, it's going to be whoever she feels deemed is worthy. I just know that it's gearing up to her losing these belts, maybe not all of them, but some of these belts, because she's slowly having to do more. She won in the beginning. She was making people tap out. Now she's not winning off of her signature no more. Then no one kicked out of her finisher. Mina just kicked out. They're slowly people are learning. They're getting film on her and they're learning. And now she's resorting to winning dirty. She's gonna crash out, and it's gonna be crazy. But what I do want to do is congratulate her. So I want to take the time. Shout out to Mercedes Moné and all the hard work. I wish I wrote down in my notebook, because I could find it on Twitter, but it's going to take so long. I want to just shout you out. I don't know the actual number, but I think in the last week, or this week technically, because Sunday. Well, it's last week. It's Sunday, sorry. I think she had 3 matches in 3 different countries. Talk about a workhorse. Talk about a fucking hustler, man. Just shout out to her, man. Shout out to Mercedes Moné. All right. And y'all know she is in the big 3. She's in my top 3. And she is not 3. I'll tell you that. Then we went into, for me, match of the motherfucking night, man. We got Konosuke Takeshita with his mentor, Kazuchika Okada, who are at ends. They are in the biggest rivalry slow brewing right now on AEW. They're in the best rivalry in wrestling right now. Facts. Best wrestling. I think we had 3 of the best rivalries in all of wrestling right now going on this pay-per-view. We had Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. Even though they're on teams, I knew everyone knew that we was going to slow cook, add more and more and more to their rivalry, or maybe someone hits each other by accident or whatever, more face-offs,
not being on the same page. Then we had not Brian, sorry, I wish Brian Danielson was back. I miss you, Brian. We had the I Quit match, Darby Allin versus Mox. Again, one of the best stories in wrestling right now, if not the best. And then Hurt Syndicate versus The Demand. Again, I told you, in the last 2 months has been my highlight of AEW. What's up, baby? What's up? Thank you. Thank you for giving me love. You happy? Good, baby. Good. All right. So then, like I said, we go right into this tag team match. Bro Dito's entrance was amazing. Bro Dito's entrance was amazing. I do want to say that crowd wanted to cheer for Konosuke Takeshita, the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, so fucking bad. If y'all was watching it, Konosuke Takeshita came out first. This is his first appearance since winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. When he came out with Don Callis, the biggest, or not the biggest heel, but the most hated heel in all of AEW. The most hated heel in all of AEW. He came out with him, the guy that makes every match that he's out, there's fuck you Callis chance at least 2 times a match if Don Callis is out there. Konosuke Takeshita walked out with him, and half of the stadium booed, and the other half of the stadium was cheering. And this is the most split it's been since this rivalry in the slow cooking of Konosuke Takeshita turning babyface has started. You can clearly hear that the stadium wanted to cheer for Konosuke Takeshita but couldn't because of Don Callis. This crowd was so, again, man, shout out. I think there was, let's see. Does it say? It doesn't say, but I'm going to say St. Louis. I believe they was in St. Louis. I want to say, St. Louis crowd was so fucking good, man. Okada comes out, the same thing with Okada. A little more boos just because he's more of a heel, but he was getting cheered because, bro, it's fucking Okada, bro. This man's a legend. I want to tell you. Ready? Let me go on the little rant. Y'all remember them dumbass motherfucking Fed fans saying Okada needs to go to motherfucking NXT? Y'all remember them dumbass motherfucking Fed fans that was saying Okada needs to learn the hard camera? He doesn't know where the hard cam is? Nigga, shut your stupid ass up, man. Okada came out looking like $1 million, and I want to say this again. Tony Khan creates superstars. And if you don't, I don't really like the lingo of that because Tony Khan helps mold superstars. Because if you got it, bro. You'll be a superstar anywhere. But I feel like Tony Khan puts people in the right position to win and to succeed. Man, Okada. That man came out looking like the Rainmaker. He was the Rainmaker, bro. Fireworks, shit was amazing. All right. The match starts. I got Bandito's moveset alone is fucking insane. But I put plus the tag team, him and Brody King's moveset, the way that they create new tag team moves because of their wrestling styles being polar opposite, him being a luchasaur, him just being a big motherfucking bear of a man. The moves that they put together are fucking crazy. And my homeboy Nito said this. Back in the day, wrestling, when we grew up, there would be like Kane and fucking Booker T, or like Kane and RVD and Booker T and Goldust. Like random people put together, and then it works. And they make it work, and they come up with some fire shit. This is one of them classic wrestling teams that was put together from 2 separate worlds, but they just put them together, and it actually fucking worked amazing. There was a spot Brody King strong ass threw Konosuke Takeshita at the barricade, and the barricade snapped Like, it didn't just bend in. The top of the barricade literally broke. Like, in real life, it just broke. That's how hard Brody King threw Takeshita over there. I also have written down this match was match of the night for me. If Sting doesn't show up, I'm gonna be on. If Sting doesn't show up on the Darby Allin match, and I loved how it was a Oh wait, it wasn't. I would say this was a 3 main event show because I forgot Hangman. Respect to our men's world champion. Sorry, Samoa Joe and Hangman. I feel like there was a 3 main event night. This match was so fucking good. I have written down Brodito as a team are so good with the crowd. There was never a moment in this match that the crowd wasn't interacting with the match. Every time that there was no down moment, so it's not every time it almost got down. But I'm just saying every time that a chant ended, the crowd either started booing the Don Callis family or there was a holy shit moment with Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada, who's on the same team, but now they're facing off because they're getting pissed off at each other. Brodito as a team, again, like I said, if the crowd wasn't interacting, booing Don Callis family, they was clapping or they was doing something for Brodito. The crowd was involved the whole motherfucking whole match. Oh yeah. So Bandito has been trying to get Brody King to do the Macarena in the ring. So Brody King finally starts doing the Macarena. He's about to do the fucking Macarena. And of course, Okada slides back in the ring, pushes Bandito into Brody King, knocking both down. And then Okada does the middle finger, his middle finger emote. And who rolls in the ring and thinks that it was for him? Of course, the Alpha. Konosuke Takeshita gets in the ring, and this is the same spot the last time that they was in a match together where Kenny Omega did the middle finger taunt and then turns and looks at Takeshita and puts it in his face. Kazuchika Okada has been the most disrespectful wrestler since signing, calling everybody a bitch, and now he's just putting the middle finger in the Alpha's face. Konosuke Takeshita grabs his finger, and he's about they're about to fight, and then Bandito and Brody King come back in the ring and actually start fighting them, which stopped Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada from having a fallout in the middle of the match. This was I skipped one. Very, very important. This is face-off number 2. If you guys watched my last review, the last time they was in a match, I counted how many times they faced off. This was face-off number 2. The very first face-off, and I skipped that note. I'm so sorry I skipped that note. The very first time they faced off. Hold up. Storytelling both. All right. Oh, all right. I skipped 2 good notes. What up, Nito? What up, my boy? Hey, bro, I pray you watch that pay-per-view, dog. I know you was going to see your new shorty, but dog, oh my God, that pay-per-view was insane. But so the very first face-off was after Kazuchika Okada did his entrance. Takeshita was in the ring already, and he has the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship belt, and Kazuchika Okada has the Unified Championship belt. Kazuchika Okada looked at Takeshita, looked at the belt, and then they faced off, and then that's when Brodito's music hit. So that was the first face-off. They already wasn't seeing eye to eye in the beginning. So then I also have, I skipped this, in the beginning of the match, if y'all know Takeshita, one of my top 3 wrestlers, literally, one of his sigs is the knockout forearm, the knockout punch. We already know Brody King is one of the strongest giants in AEW. So Brody King does a knockout punch, bow, but that's never been his sig. He knocks out Takeshita. Takeshita's laid out flat on the mat. Okada gets in the ring. Brody King's giving him some big chops, hard chop. The chops Brody King was giving in this match was the loudest I have ever heard. No bullshit. And if not ever heard, it's like top. You know what I mean? You get what I mean? I don't want to gas it, but it was one of the loudest I ever heard all night. Brody King was. Them niggas' chests are hurting right now. No bullshit. Them niggas got icy hot on their shit right now. Them niggas is rubbing fucking Ben Gay on their chest right now. But Takeshita immediately gets up from being knocked out and moves Okada out the way and does his own knockout punch to Brody King this time and knocked him out. And that's the storytelling that you don't need a promo for. That's the storytelling. Like, bro knocked him out because he's a giant and he's one of the strongest. But this is my signature. My right hand, my right punch, forearm, whatever you want to say is his sig, is the alpha. That's the alpha, nigga. He ends matches like that. Brody King knocked him out. He got up and knocked Brody King out. Bro, it was like here. We're right here with it. It was money. So then let me get right back to where we're at. So again, remember I said we had 2 face-offs. We're on face-off number 2 with the middle finger. Oh yeah, see, I got it right here. Brody King chops sound fucking deadly. All right, so not only did they do the storytelling with Kazuchika Okada and Brody King, the coolest storytelling that I thought that I want to last as long as they're both in AEW. Brody King, wait. Nah, man. All right, Nito. So close. So fucking close. So close, and I would have loved it. So, what I really want to see happen for the rest of the time that they're in AEW, if y'all don't know, Bandito, he might be Wrestler of the Year. Konosuke Takeshita might be Wrestler of the Year because what he did in New Japan. Bandito, what he's doing in America with AEW this year is insane. Bandito pinned Konosuke Takeshita this year. Just keep it out there, babe. I'm almost done. Thank you. What's it called? Bandito pinned Takeshita on for the why Bandito is the ROH World Champion, the developmental brand of AEW, ROH Ring of Honor, is because he had everyone has said, and me and Nito, we need to actually, I didn't get to watch this live. I seen the highlights because I don't get to see ROH that much. But Takeshita is my favorite wrestler, so I should have watched it. So I feel bad. But me and Nito we're going to rewatch this match together. But everyone that's seen it in the wrestling community, they're saying it is a contender for match of the year. Konosuke Takeshita versus Bandito for the ROH World Champion. This is, I think, their third time that I've seen since that match, them being a match together. The AEW Casino Gauntlet was literally the night after their one-on-one match. That was the first time. I forgot the second time, and this is the third time that Konosuke Takeshita has been in the ring with Bandito after their one-on-one match. And it's a contender for match of the year. I think Konosuke Takeshita and Bandito, they need to have a rivalry for the rest of their career in AEW. The chemistry that they have in the ring is fucking insane. Huh? What? No. It's fucking insane. Sorry about that, you guys. I really want it to be a rivalry forever. Oh yeah, so while I wrote that down, there was a moment where we're already like we're hella deep into this match. This match has been insane, right? Konosuke Takeshita. While I'm writing down, this needs to be a forever. Literally, right here in my notes. This needs to be a forever rivalry. I want this to be a forever rivalry. Konosuke Takeshita is about to get his revenge. The commentators are even saying, to Konosuke Takeshi is about to get his revenge for losing to Bandito on that one-on-one in ROH. Takeshita has hit Blue Thunder Bomb on this nigga. He's about to finish it. He's doing all of his signatures. He just hasn't hit the Raging Fire yet. When he falls back, Takeshita is about to Takeshita, if y'all know Takeshita, when he takes his knee pad off, that now his running knee is now a finisher. If the knee pad is up, it's just a signature. It's still super strong and he wins matches with it. But once he moves the knee pad, it is now a finisher. He removed his knee pad and he went back into the turnbuckle to do to do Bandito's emote, to troll him, and then do the running knee. And he was going to win the match. Brody King is out of the ring. Takeshita's going to win the match. He goes into the corner to do his emote, and who fucking fucks it up? Okada forces the tag because they're not friends. Okada fucked up the whole momentum. Okada gets in the ring and just ruins the whole momentum for the fight for Takeshita and for himself, Kazuchika Okada. But just out of greed and just out of hate that he doesn't want Takeshita to get the pin. He don't want to win if Takeshita did it. You feel me? So he tags himself in, right? I swear, bro, this shit was fire. He tags himself in, right? When Okada gets in the ring, hold on, I want to make sure I don't fuck up the all right, boom. I just didn't want to fuck up the sequence. Okada gets in the ring, fucks up the momentum, right? Now Takeshita got beat up and he rolls out. Okada's getting beat up and he, you know what I mean? He's the legal man, so he's in the ring. Takeshita comes in to still save the match. There is a moment, right? I swear to God, I wish I could show you this, but I don't. I'm on I'm on 3 hours of this stream. This has been one of my best review streams, so I don't want to ruin it and get my shit banned. But Nito, I swear to God, bro, Takeshita gets back in the ring, and it's him and Brody King. This nigga deadlifted Brody King, bro. Deadlifted Brody King, bro. Konosuke Takeshita deadlifted Brody King. Brody King's on the floor. He wheelbarrowed him all the way up and German suplexed that nigga, bro. Bro, Konosuke Takeshita is, bro, I don't know, man. He is a different animal, bro. So from that deadlift spot, boom, right? They go into one of the high-paced AEW sequences. He deadlifts. He doesn't move, right? Then Konosuke ends up on the bad end of a German. So he's like foggy, you know what I mean, like dazed. He's trying to get up. And Bandito. Yeah. I agree, man. Okada and Takeshita should definitely, this should be a forever rivalry also. So Okada's already leaning on the ropes trying to get up. Bandito is holding Okada. Now Takeshita's draggy from the move he just got hit with. So he grabs Bandito. Nigga, Brody King goes over there. Brody King's big ass German suplexes all three big ass niggas. The only nigga that's and Bandito's in shape. Bandito is in shape, man. Nah, we gotta look. I want to look right now. Konosuke Takeshita weight 231 pounds. Kazuchika Okada weight 236 pounds, nigga. We are at 467 pounds just with them. 467 pounds. Bandito weight 100. See, I knew he was a little bit. He was the lighter one. I knew he was under 100. But we'll just round it to 200. Bro, he just German suplexed over 600 pounds of weight. This fucking tag match was so fire, bro. It easily match of the night. If Sting doesn't show up, match of the night, bro. Hold on. All right. So after that big spot, right? After that big spot, three-man German suplex, Okada fucked up the momentum. Takeshita tries to get out. Takeshita's trying to get out of the get out of the ring so he could go on the turnbuckle to legally tag back in. Takeshita gets on the turnbuckle to get back in. He gets back legal into the match. He's trying to get momentum. The energy is up here. We're like firing at all cylinders at this moment of this match. It is like top AEW speed right now. We're going very fast. Oh, Takeshita gets back in the ring, but he still doesn't have the momentum. Bandito ducks under and fucking Okada rainmakes. He hits the Rainmaker on Takeshita by accident. But what does Okada do? Okada doesn't help him up. He doesn't do anything. Takeshita rolls out the ring, and Okada leans over the ropes and starts smiling. This nigga Okada was laughing at Takeshita for getting hit with the Rainmaker. One of the most strongest finishers in AEW. Only one person is kicked out of the fucking finisher. Like, the shit was cinema. This is the first time since their trio match that we've seen Okada put his hands, though, on Takeshita. This has just elevated this rivalry to the next level. You cost me. I didn't get to beat you because you pinned the other nigga in our trio match. We keep having face-offs. You're fucking up my momentum in matches. And then you just cost me the tag team championships that Takeshita never had. And you hit me with a Rainmaker? Oh, nigga, it's on sight. Nigga, it's on sight when I see you. Man, so the whole match, they was targeting Bandito's right shoulder, I believe it was right or left shoulder. One of his shoulders was messed up, one of his arms, and they ripped off that tape that's supposed to keep it in all place. I will say Bandito, definitely contender for Wrestler of the Year. He hits a one-armed 21 plex on Kazuchika Okada with, I just told you, Takeshita got hit with a Rainmaker. He's out the ring. He's out, right? Bandito hits a one-armed 21 plex on Okada. 1, 2, 3. What the fuck? Bandito in 1 year, in the same year, Bandito has pinned Takeshita and Okada. In the same year, bro. Bro, I was like, I'm watching this, and I thought of my boy Nito, and well, I was like, damn, I would have loved for Takeshita and Okada to win despite not having chemistry. But then when I seen this end, I instantly thought about my very first take on the reviews. Carmelo Hayes, the best NXT champion ever. What's he doing? Right? Finn Balor, another amazing NXT champion. What is he doing, man? Nigga in a tag team champion for 170 days and got one title defense. Like, over there on the Fed, you go to their developmental brand, and they don't even develop you. You get stuck. You get stuck looking at they just released Wes Lee, who was an amazing North American champ, but you get stuck when you over there. You get stuck getting looked at as a developmental nigga. Bandito and Tony Khan are showing you how you use your developmental champion to look the part to transition into the main roster. Bandito is the ROH World fucking champion, the developmental champion. I'm comparing it to the NXT because NXT keeps their champion down in NXT. When NXT's world champion should only be interacting with the main roster. because that's his goal. And everyone under the NXT should be attacking the NXT champion. So the NXT champion doesn't always have to show up at the show because the promos are geared towards him. And then when he's on the main roster show, SmackDown or Raw, he cuts a promo on a non-champion on the main roster, but just someone with status that he wants to beat. And then he answers the little guys in NXT and be like, oh, yeah, I'll see you at whatever pay-per-view comes up, or PLE comes up next for them. That's how you develop. And if y'all watch it, that you could go ahead and take my blueprint, right? But that's not even what Tony did. Tony made a superstar out of Bandito. He still shows up on ROH, but he is a fully active AEW World Tag Team Champion who just pinned Konosuke Takeshita, the alpha of all wrestling, and the Rainmaker, the greatest tournament wrestler ever, in the same year. This is how you make your developmental champion respected. All right? The last face-off, Takeshita finally got up at the end of the match, and he's crawling up the entrance ramp, and he's looking at Okada in disgust that he lost and he cost him the match. This has been my favorite rivalry, and this has been peak wrestling storytelling on a trillion. Right after this, we are on a high. I'm telling you, there has not been a bad match on this fucking pay-per-view. We are on a high coming into this. We're going right into the AEW Men's World Champion, Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe, which started off because Hangman was in a trio match with him, and Samoa Joe is the reason Hangman's the champion. Samoa Joe and the Ops, NXT champs, should be able to have one match on Raw and SmackDown a month, and as long as they have the belt. Exactly, Nito. Exactly. Thank you. That right there works. That's exactly how it should be. So Hangman Adam Page teamed up with Samoa Joe. But remember, Samoa Joe is at All In, saved Hangman. The Ops came and saved Hangman from the Death Riders. And Samoa Joe is the leader of the Ops, and he's the reason Hangman is champion. So Hangman offered to help them in their trio match. In the match, there was a little miscommunication about tagging and stuff like this. And then at the end, Hangman gave Samoa Joe his trio belt, but Samoa Joe was looking at the world belt and got pissed. So then they started yelling at each other. Samoa Joe said, nigga, you never beat me. Like, you didn't beat me for that belt, nigga. I'm the reason you got it. You didn't beat me. You feel me? So that's where the rivalry starts. Now, they cut the promo last Wednesday, face off. Samoa Joe says, everything you said was right. Everything you said is right. But you know that if you don't face me, it's not legit. I'm the reason that you have that title, and you never beat me. So what's up? Like, I was champ. Samoa Joe, promo skills are up here. As a baby face who's just ruthless, up here, right? Hangman, side note, I don't know if y'all know, on YouTube TV, on youtube.com, I meant, you can go right now and go watch a documentary, it's not that long, of Hangman Adam Page All In Weekend. AEW released it yesterday before the pay-per-view. I thought it was amazing. I love content from the wrestling company that I love. I'm pretty sure you guys agree. Whatever company it is you love, I'm pretty sure you love getting extra content. So, knowing that we had a pay-per-view starting at 7 p.m., some of us, whatever, we don't work on the weekends or whatever the case may be, or even if your kids, like, you're waiting, you know what I mean? We're all waiting for this pay-per-view. and they gave us, I don't know if it was an hour or 45 minutes, they gave us something to watch. And it was Hangman's all-in weekend of him becoming the world champion. And it was just a beautiful, like, behind the scenes. And it just got me, like, pumped up, ready for this pay-per-view. So, I thought that was wicked fucking cool. So, the same take with the Kyle Fletcher, I had the same feel for this match, where it's hard for me to get because I, as you can tell, like, bro, I have a lot of energy. For me to be on 10, I have to believe that anyone could win the match. And for some reason, not for some reason, it's kind of obvious. Like, I didn't see Hangman, his reign ending right here. I didn't see it. It didn't make sense. Though I love Samoa Joe as a main event wrestler and an opponent, he's a babyface. So it wouldn't make sense for them to take the belt off the main character to give it to an anti-hero who's also a top guy. It just, for me, it didn't make sense. So even though I really loved the promo on Wednesday, my excitement level for this match out of 10, I would say realistically was a 8, maybe 7.5. Now I'll be real, 7.5. I'll say 7.5 coming into this match, 7.5 to be honest. There was spots in this match that made me realize how good of an in-ring and promo. I heard Samoa Joe retiring soon, and they're giving OG Flower. Yes, same thing. So kind of just like what I was gonna say. Watching this match, Samoa Joe is so good on the mic, but I forgot how great of a fucking wrestler this man is. They was going blow for blow in the middle of the ring a lot of the times, and it looked hard hitting. It looked like what a world champion and a challenger should look like. I said I was 7.5. Before 3 minutes in of the match, I was already up. I was already up at the max that I could be of excitement. I'm not joking. The crowd was so fucking good. Joe is gonna kill you. Joe chants. We got cowboy shit chants. We got let's go Hangman. Let's go Joe 2 times in the first 5 minutes. Like this shit was just amazing, and it was back and forth. No one could get the edge. I do want to shout out, I don't know his name, some random guy in the crowd. You can go ask my girlfriend. When we go to wrestling events, I am the fan that I want everyone to be. And when I say that is, when you're in the crowd, it's like basketball. They call like you're like the sixth man. Y'all ever saw that movie, The Sixth Man? And for football, the crowd is the 12th man. So in wrestling, you're a part of the show. So I want to shout out this one fan. Samoa Joe was putting belt to ass, and there was this one fan that was not letting the crowd have dull moments. There was this one guy that continued. Every time the crowd would calm down a little bit, you could hear this one same guy, and he would start cowboy shit chants. There was so many cowboy shit chants in this match because of this one great fan, and I just want to shout him out. That is what I'm like when I go to shows, and that's what I expect every fan to be. Every fan, obviously, I don't like when wrestling fans overpower. Like I love the overseas crowds, and I love every crowd that's lit, but sometimes like the chants gotta match the fight. You know what I'm saying? The chants can't just be chants because you want to chant. You know what I mean? Like, it got to match the match. Like, it got to help the story is what I mean. But that fan, shout out to that fan. He was so cool. Shout out to him. He really kept the energy high. I loved how on commentating, they was commentating. First off, shout out to the commentators. You guys was money. Excalibur, Nigel McGuinness, and Tony Schiavone. Oh, my God. This was a great commentated pay-per-view from start to finish. You guys did amazing. But I do want to say I loved how on commentary, I forgot who it was on commentary, they mentioned Samoa Joe's famous walk-away spot. I love seeing the crowd, man. When FTR won, they was tight. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That was a great finish. That was an amazing – I talked about that finish. That was an amazing finish. Let me see. Oh, all right. So I loved how on commentary they mentioned Samoa Joe's famous walk-away spot, right? So if y'all know Hangman, like I said, every wrestler has a bag. Y'all know Hangman does a moonsault outside of the ring every match, right? It's one of his biggest spots. As the commentators are talking about it, this motherfucker Samoa Joe walks away. Luckily, though, a moonsault, y'all. He has to jump and flip backwards and land on his stomach. He's landing outside the ring, you guys. If he does that moonsault, he can bust his face open. There's no padding outside that ring. He can get fucked up. But luckily for Hangman, before he did the moonsault and committed, he looked and Samoa Joe walked away. Now, obviously, we know it's choreographed. This is part of the show. But the writing in this was so cool because he seen him walk away. He said, fuck that. He jumped off the ropes, right? He grabbed Samoa Joe, did a regular move on him, got him in position. He got back up on the top turnbuckle, and he attempted the moonsault. Guess what? Samoa Joe walked away again. Yo, I swear to God, Samoa Joe's, like, I don't give a fuck level is crazy. That spot was comedy. He literally looked to try to do a moonsault. He's like, fuck, he walked away. Like, did his shit on me. Hit him, got him in position. He did it, and he still walked away. That shit was tears. I was dying laughing. I thought it was a great spot. I love comic relief in a serious match. Comic relief is always great to throw in there. Then there was a very big moment that me personally, it's something that I always mention and I always want and I advocate for. When wrestlers wrestle, boy or girl, I understand, after you do a move. You do a DDT, you get up, you're trying to get the crowd to react. Now I get it, but I don't think it's always the best thing to just scream. I personally like, and MJF is a top 3 wrestler to me because he doesn't just scream after a move. Instead, MJF will do a move and then he'll talk to you as for real. Not just be like, oh, you suck. He'll talk to you as in, like, it doesn't have to be a long sentence. It's not like a paragraph. He's not having a conversation. But he'll say something of significance. A small sentence or something of significance to add to the storytelling. Instead of just doing this move and be like, and then, yeah. You know what I mean? He'll get up and let's say it's, for example, it's Adam Cole after he turned on him. He'll do the heat seeker and then get in the ring and be like you was the only one I trusted, and then do his finisher. You know what I mean? It's only one sentence. You was the only one I trusted. But that one sentence is so deep. It's so deep. So I love when wrestlers can learn lingo in conversation without saying long-winded ass fucking talk or dragging it out. But they could say things in their match instead of just, So Hangman and Samoa Joe now, it's deep into the match. They're going back and forth, doing moves, doing signatures. And Samoa Joe, it's a back and forth moment. Samoa Joe punches, Hangman punches. Samoa Joe punches, Hangman punches. Then Samoa Joe goes on a little fury, pow, pow, 2. Hangman stops him and says, come on, motherfucker. I'm not joking. Literally what Hangman said. Come on, motherfucker. And that right there, like you gonna have to do more, bro. Like, I'm the AEW Men's World Champion. Like, nah, bro. You want this shit? Let's go, nigga. Like, that right there, bro, was goosebumps, as you can see. Goosebumps. I'm so mad that I couldn't do this stream yesterday. I had goosebumps the whole and fucking the entirety of after the show ended. That shit was so crazy. The ending was cinema. He reversed the muscle brain buster into a dead eye, which Samoa Joe kicked out of. I fucked with it only because Hangman then proceeds to do buckshot. Buckshot. Man, get him the fuck out of here. It took one more buckshot, nigga. It took 3 buckshots. Samoa Joe was out of there. What I loved the best about the buckshot, nigga, Hangman did the first buckshot, bow. Samoa Joe didn't go down. Hangman did the second buckshot, bow. Samoa Joe didn't go down. Hangman loaded up that third buckshot, and that was it, man. I never seen 3 buckshots in a row. But I'm not gonna lie. Again, the same way that I said about the Kyle Fletcher, and it changed my mind in real time, is literally the same exact thing with this match. I told you, I'm being honest, I was 7.5 excited out of 10. Like, and that's low on me because I love AEW and I love wrestling. That's really low for me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sorry. But them 3 buckshots and the storytelling in the match was fucking crazy. So after the match, and again, AEW is telling stories for grown-ups, but they also have to make sense for wrestling. At the end of the match, Samoa Joe admits defeat. The ops come out. They're helping Samoa Joe up, and they shake hands with Hangman Adam Page. The AEW Trio Champions, the ops are out. Hangman, the Men's World AEW Men's World Champion. They're all showing respect. The crowd is giving an ovation. Just like Nito said, I heard Samoa Joe's retiring soon. They're giving OG his flowers. It was a feel-good moment. Everyone's clapping. Joe. Hangman puts his hands up. Samoa Joe puts his hands up. And then he lariats Hangman. Samoa Joe and the ops turn heel. And they are jumping the shit out of Hangman after a great match. And Samoa Joe picks up the world title. And he says this is the reason why. But if you guys know what I just remember what I told you, the writing is cinema. The Hurt Syndicate are now the Hurt Syndicate are now the #1 contender for the trio tag team champion belt. The Hurt Syndicate are the most over faction in all of wrestling. The Hurt Syndicate is the most over faction in all of wrestling.
Alexander Legram.
The ultimate baby faces. And they are the #1 contender to face the ops. This was a fingaro. This was a layup. Anybody on the internet saying, why did the ops turn heel? Nigga, this is a layup. We have Powerhouse Hobbs now as a bad guy. We have Shibata, who's a bad guy, which works perfect for Shibata because he's not the best promo. Doesn't speak English. He's been comedic relief using Siri to do his promos. We're going to have to get away from that. Now we're going to take Shibata serious. Powerhouse Hobbs, again, not saying he ain't the best at promos, but he hasn't had the opportunity to show how good or not good he is on promos. But what we do know is Powerhouse Hobbs is an all-elite wrestler. And amazing at that. Shibata, an amazing wrestler. And what we know about Samoa Joe is he can hang with anybody on the microphone. And in that ring, he can hang with anyone. So now we have a ops faction who can go promo for promo with the Hurt Syndicate for the trio tag belt. And guess what? Tony Khan is such a sicko, Nito. He booked it for Wednesday. This Wednesday, we are going to see the Hurt Syndicate become the new trio tag team champions. I don't care. They better win. And if they lose, I want to slow cook a long rivalry, and then we could win at full, and Hurt Syndicate could win at full gear. But I'm going to be honest. I really don't want that. I think the ops run has ran its course, and I think it'll be smart. It'll be very smart to have the Hurt Syndicate, one, cut a promo in the beginning of Dynamite, have a mid promo by the ops, have the ops answer maybe at 9 o'clock. So the show starts at 8. You have a Hurt Syndicate promo, call MVP, talking that shit to the ops. At 9 o'clock hour, you have the ops, Samoa Joe, answering. And the main event of Wednesday night should be nothing other than the AEW Trio Tag Team Championship. And we should see the Hurt Syndicate get over. I want to say this whole fucking pay-per-view was the money. This whole pay-per-view was the money, and we're not done yet. We are not done yet, right? Triple H would never, facts, he would make us wait months, exactly. And this is why striking when the iron's hot is very important. Then, after we just seen a crazy heel turn on this pay-per-view, yo, just real quick, think about this. Y'all know Sting showed up, right? So we had a legend show up at this pay-per-view, a return. We had an open challenge that we didn't know who the CEO was going to fight. We had a heel turn on this pay-per-view. And then after the heel turn, what was the most important part for the women tag team championship division? Toni Storm was sitting on the floor in disbelief that she lost. Mouth open, not saying a word. Just sitting on the floor. Mina Shirakawa walks up to her crying. And Toni Storm said, "We lost everything." Because Toni Storm lost her belt. Toni Storm lost Mariah May. Well, had to kill her. She had to kill her protege. Mina lost her best friend, Mariah May. Mina lost her ROH TV World Champion. But guess what Mina said? Mina looked up at Toni and said, "No, we didn't. We still have each other." And Toni Storm hugged her. And when she looked up. But the look in her eyes was like someone that had an epiphany. She realized she didn't lose everything. In the look in her eyes, I just feel like she was thinking about the World Tag Team, the AEW World Women's Tag Team Champions. And I'm changing my bet. I'm changing who I want to win. I want Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa to be the very first AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. And I want to see what freaky, sexual, and funny story that they do. Because I know it's going to be amazing. That promo was so big to me. Then we get into match of the night. Well, Takeshita's the tag team world champion could be match of the night. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla could be match of the night. Man, Hurt Syndicate versus The Man could be match of the night, and Darby Allin versus John Moxley could be match of the night. And if you wanted to throw in a dark horse, I would even accept if someone said Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks was their favorite match. I would accept all of these. I won't lie. Darby Allin coming out, Moxley coming out. I had a feeling we was going to see a murder. We already got this is murder. We got those chants at the coffin match, right? I knew we was going to get them again. I already gave the breakdown of this match, but I'm just going to end with, I'm going to say some of the notes, because I did already say most of the notes on this match. I started with this because I was so excited. I will say this. Darby Allin and John Moxley, I want to thank you guys for putting your body at risk. I want to thank AEW for allowing this type of extreme wrestling. And I want to thank Sting, too, because for you to be wrestling as long, I know he's retired, but for you to still have love for the game and for you to come back and to give someone like me who's 33 years old, who I just told you in the beginning of this video, I had a VHS of a biography about you that came out in 1996. I was born in 1992. I was 4 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was 4 years old watching that shit. And Sting is the reason I fell in love with wrestling. He was my first favorite wrestler. And he's still, like all time, Sting's Mount Rushmore for me. Dead ass. And for him to show up for Darby Allin and for him to look as good as he looked, body-wise, health-wise, just as a human, as an older dude, I'm happy for him. But for him to move the way he did with that baseball bat, and it didn't look like he was moving a slow pace and they was letting him get his feet. Nah, man, like Sting showed up. Sting started choking him out. Sting beat them niggas up with the bat. Sting's old ass carried Marina Shafir out the fucking stadium to help Darby. And then passing Darby the baton, like physically passing him the baton while Moxley is in a match passing him the baton was two of the craziest storytellings I seen. And again, I'm going to say this. Me seeing Sting was definitely the sign for me to go to Comic-Con, and I'm definitely going to do that. And I want to say, Sting, I just want to thank you and congratulate you on a great career, and I can't wait to meet you. And I just want to say that Darby Allin Moxley match meant a lot. That match meant so much, and I want to end on this picture, if I can find it. I really want to end on this picture. I really, really, really want to end on this picture. Please, can I end with this picture? I just want to. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I want to say thank you. If you guys sit here and sat through the whole 3 hours, or you guys are going to watch this video, I just want to say thank you. This is a passion of mine. I really love this wrestling shit, and I want to take this YouTube to the next level. So if you can help me out, share the page, let your friends know that like wrestling, that there's an AEW podcast, a new AEW podcast that's on the block, and we turning this shit the fuck up. So this is episode 3 of the Forbidden Door podcast. I'm Alexander LeGrand.
Alexander LeGrand.
And just one last time, I want to say this right here was how the actual pay-per-view ended. Sting comes out, passes the baton, saves Darby Allin in the I Quit match. Darby Allin wouldn't quit. John Moxley, if you didn't see it, you guys, John Moxley brought a fish tank out and poured it with water and then was drowning Darby Allin. This was literally peak TV. This was a movie. This was a movie. This was bigger than wrestling. We was watching a movie last night. He was trying to kill Darby Allin in GTA, trying to unalive him through drowning him like he was in like a interrogation movie, like a terrorist movie, like something crazy, bro. Sting comes, makes the save. He breaks the fish tank with the bat. Like everything, every part of the writing made sense. Darby Allin, the man that just doesn't quit, the man that just won't die, the man that climbed Mount Everest and put that flag at the top of the world, literally the top of the world, the only wrestler ever. He wins because of his mentor saved him. His mentor passed the baton. He uses his mentor's 2 finishers, the Scorpion Death Drop, and then he puts him in a Scorpion Death Lock. And Moxley has to say the words, "I quit." And we go off on the pay-per-view with this as the last scene, the last image in our brain. WrestleDream was way better than anybody gave it credit. WrestleDream was way better than anybody thought it was going to be. WrestleDream is literally a top 3 pay-per-view of 2025. And that is my honest take. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Forbidden Door Podcast. And after Wednesday's episode of Dynamite, I will be back here. Hopefully we could get Nito on the next episode. And I look forward to seeing y'all comments, seeing what y'all think. If y'all want me to review any show, let me know. Yeah, man. Until next time.